Oh, damn it.
Oh man, this is a terrible beer.
What are you
drinking? The double nickel. It's called the 2020 Dumpster Fire, boys. Don't know if you can see that can art there.
Is that really what it's called?
Yeah, it's called the 2020 Dumpster Fire. It's a smoked chocolate stout with cayenne pepper, which is a horrible idea. I bought it because the can looked cool, and now I'm reading what it is after taking the first sip, and I fucked up, boys.
That's like what got me into craft beer. I was like, ooh, this label looks cool, like a fucking, like a child looking at a pop-out book. That's what got me into craft beer all those years ago.
It just tastes like a campfire smell. Like, it's not spicy.
I hate beer like that.
No.
Nah.
I hate when they use like bourbon barrels and they like age the beer in there or whatever. Oh my God, it's awful. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's like, well, this tastes like old wood.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't taste any of the whiskey, just the rotten barrel. Like,
yeah,
it tastes like what I imagine scurvy tastes like. If you could eat scurvy, you could like put your tongue inside of a pirate's mouth and just get it in there.
Right. Or Gary Busey's mouth.
Yeah.
If I wanted to taste old wood, I would just call up Harvey Weinstein.
Oh my God. Well,
good.
I had a joke in the chamber, but that just knocked it out of my. I don't remember what the fuck it was. I completely forget what it is now.
Pew, pew,
oh yeah. Gary Busey's teeth probably just taste like scrubbing bubbles, right? Like they probably taste like tile cleaner all the time. That man doesn't brush his teeth. He
doesn't have to. They're not even real. He just puts them in a jar at nighttime.
I feel like they're anchored in there though. Like, you know how like Steve-O's had his teeth done like 8 times now.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know how bad your dental hygiene has to be where you fuck up your porcelain teeth, but he's done it twice. Like he's had to have new implants done several times.
I don't know. If I had a choice between having like teeth implants or just some teeth that I could take out, scare the shit out of some kids, 100% I'd get the take out teeth.
Do you think it'd be fun to eat pussy with no teeth? That's the next question, because like you always like hear like jokes in like a movie where like an old like they'll make a joke in like That's My Boy about the old lady gumming Vanilla Ice's cock.
But what about the other way?
Yeah, but what about the other way? No one ever talks about like gumming on some clit, just fucking like getting in there.
Probably just feels like dumping a jar of wet worms over the puss. That's how I imagine it would be a similar sort of.
Wait, we can't get started yet. I haven't even.
Feedback.
Oh shit. Oh, all right, we're good now. I got the pants off.
Yes,
let's go.
Oh my God, boys!
And after that joke,
my favorite highlight of the week is the text exchange between you and Derek today. For those of you who don't know, that's probably everybody. We have a group chat where we like kind of like share articles throughout the week and this bullshit. You guys were on fucking fire today between the I'd spit in my hand and do it had to be done comment.
I was looking so hard for a Palpatine gif of him saying, "Do what must be done." I couldn't find one. I don't know why that particular phrase is hard to. Does he not say it just like that? Is that why? I don't know.
It could be one of those Mandela effect things, like where everyone thinks he says, "Luke, I am your father."
Right.
Yeah, true,
it could be one of those things where it's just been misrepresented in pop culture for so long that we think it's canon.
Yeah. I only remember him just saying, "Do it."
Yeah, do it.
Do what must be done. I thought he said that like Order 66 or something. Or,
he might. That sounds real.
Or like when he said when he sent Anakin to like the temple, maybe. I don't know. In my head I can hear him saying
it. Could be robot chicken shit you're thinking of though. Like that shit's also intertwined. It's impossible to tell at this point. Because what am I gonna do? Go back and watch the prequels? Like,
you've seen the robot chicken skit where Boba Fett's in the Mandalorian, he's in the Sarlacc pit like belly. And he's like fucking around with people. His armor's all burnt off. It's hilarious, and in my head, that's canon.
I've never seen that, but I feel like
I
need to
I
that
can't think of the exact clip you're talking about.
Nah.
Yeah.
But again, like when I was watching all those old Robot Chicken specials, I was just so stoned. Like, there's no way. Yeah.
It's the only way to enjoy them, really. Sometimes you go back and you watch them, and it's like, oof, this wasn't as good as I remember it being.
Same thing with Tim and Eric, man.
Yeah,
Tim and Eric
oh my God, I know. I was like, man, I was on a lot of drugs back then. That's the only reason this was funny.
Great. Yeah.
Oh, why did I laugh at him saying gravy robbers all the time? I don't understand. Gotcha, Derek.
The thing is, I would be so high, like at Derek's house when Derek and Peeb lived together. They had like an apartment. I'd be like on their couch, stoned, watching Tim and Eric, and I'd be mesmerized, and they'd be going about their business, like normal, regular level of high, and I'd be like comatose, like transformation, like a bug transforming inside of a fucking cocoon high. It was bad.
Yeah, like that scene in Train Spotting where he shoots up and he just sinks into the floor and he just sees himself fading away. Guys, not familiar with that scene? That's all right. No big deal. Let's move on.
No, not at all.
No, it's the baby's on the ceiling and the head turns around. I remember.
Yeah,
I got you.
Disturbing movie.
Oh,
Weird.
nice.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor at his finest.
Is it better that I hadn't seen it, so I tried to move on, or that Scott had seen it and also just didn't see it?
I mean, I was literally caught in the moment, like visualizing. I was visualizing myself like outside of my own body, playing Dead Space 2 at your house, stoned as fuck, and being terrified and like jumping out of the fucking chair for the first time when you're in like that cryostasis area.
Yeah.
I remember. I'll never forget that night, man. That was the night that dude played zombies for like 3 hours on your TV.
Oh yeah.
The dude brought the one
TV that we own. Yeah. You just play for 6 hours at a time.
Yeah, he would bring his console over to your house and play on your big screen TV. Yeah.
There would literally be like 15 people crowded around this TV, like clearly waiting to do some group activity, and he's just playing solo fucking Nazi zombies for like hours on end.
Bag of shit.
Basically.
Who is this person? Can we publicly shame him?
He was our weed man, so no. And that's why we didn't do it then either.
No.
He got a lot of pull, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Not as zombies, though. Boy sucked at zombies.
Yeah, no.
We watch him go to rounds like 17 and die 8 times in a row before he'd give up and go home.
Oh no, that's the worst.
Yep. Couldn't even like get into it with him. Like, oh, here we go, round 15 again.
Was he like a sore loser? Would he freak out?
No, he would just reload it. He'd be like, all right, let's do another one.
I think it's worse.
Yeah. There was nothing exciting going on. Yeah.
If he was angry, it'd be at least entertaining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I didn't know he was your weed man, though. So I have to ask, was the weed that good?
No. Was any weed back then good? No. When you're 20 years, like now, I'm like, oh, is it an indica, a sativa, a hybrid? Back then, it's like, this is weed. And I'd be like, all right, I guess I have to believe you. Like, what do you do?
Oh, God.
That's a good point. We have an absolute smorgasbord of shit to talk about this week. Shall we dive right in?
Let's
I don't know.
dive
Did anyone
right
say
in.
anything hyper offensive that you can cut us off and lead into the episode with?
No, but
we talked about pouring a jar of worms on a pussy. I mean,
yeah, I actually spit on my hand. I mean, I think that covers it.
Yeah, no dry handies for the bullies. They get the wet ones.
No. Yep.
Yeah,
only
and
the
look,
finest handies.
I've trained my whole life getting myself off. I don't need your help, okay? I handle it myself.
Wait, that was very accusatory. As if we're like over here waiting to get our hands on your crank.
Can't wait to jerk you off. Keep your hands to yourselves,
fellas.
And I will too.
Yeah. Stay in your corners, boys. Stay in your fucking lane. Get your hands out of here. That's probably the best way to start off the episode, talking about jerking each other off. Yep. Welcome to the Cynical Nerd.
It's been kind of a theme today.
Boys.
How
we are 25 years old. And by years old, I mean episodes old, which are not related in any way. But in my brain, they are.
Yeah, it works.
So it's safe to say we've amassed over 50 hours of audio over our combined.
Absolutely.
The question is, how much of that 50 hours of audio is you guys just talking about sucking dicks at a glory hole? I'm gonna say at least upwards of 2 hours. Yeah. At least 2 hours worth of just hog slop talk.
If any of our really viewers out there want some extra punishment, if you go back and find me all the segments, because I'm not doing it.
Oh, I know where most of them are. I will tell you where they are.
I will make a dick sucking.
If someone sends me timestamps, I will make a silver-haired glory hole compilation and put it up on YouTube. I have no shame.
No. What you do? You have to make a compilation of us talking about all the dicks that you guys want to suck, and then put it up on actual porn sites like YouPorn and X videos.
Yes. If someone gets me the timestamps, I will make that. It will not even be that much work. I'll do it for the love of the game.
We should make
just
a
like
graphic.
I do the glory hole.
We should make like a graphic of all the graying actors that we've said we'd suck their dicks, and just do sort of like a heated tournament.
Yeah.
One by one.
True.
Oh yeah, like a tier system. Like who's Who's cock's getting it the hardest, right?
Yeah.
Who's first? Who
has the ultimate suckable cock?
Yeah. I don't know why I laugh so hard at my own joke, but just the phrase like sucking dick for the love of the game, it just got me. Oh man. Oh fuck. Yeah, we've got like I was not kidding. We have a metric ton of stuff to do.
Yeah.
We have reviews: Godzilla vs. Kong, Invincible Episode 4, Falcon and Winter Soldier Episode 3. Primer Scott had a mystery viewing of a movie this week. And then we have our normal week in review. So we're probably going to try and like just ram through week in review because there's a lot to talk about. I want to get through all of it because we get a ton of trailers too. So bing, bang, boom. Let's fucking go. Before I start that, Scott, how are you doing? I didn't even ask you guys.
I'm doing good, man.
I noticed. I picked up on it.
Yeah, well, fucking cross that one off the list you were keeping in your notebook because I asked you.
I'm good, man. I'm drunk. I'm already like I got drunk before the pod intentionally, so I could be drunk for this very moment right now.
Okay, awesome, Derek.
It's working out pretty well.
Not too bad. I feel like I have crabs on the inside of my body pinching me and spitting hot acid into my blood, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good. I want to get a Scott shittiness meter. Like, I want to see, like, the more he drinks throughout, it just, like, on the YouTube video, it just fills up a little bit more, like, with every sip.
Yeah.
It's got to be like a liquid fill, like a little sloshing.
Yeah.
That's the one.
That's probably way too much for me to animate.
What we should do is, like, get a transparent trash can and fill it up with vomit for how drunk I am. Right? Or get a milk jug and fill it with urine. You know, like one of those, like...
That's a good idea.
Something horrific, yeah. Something that's really make all the viewers uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we aim for here at the Cynical Nerd podcast. Speaking of making viewers uncomfortable, there's a live-action CW Powerpuff show
Seamless
coming.
Transition. Smooth.
Thank you.
Very good.
I've been working on it for 25 episodes. They're casting Professor Utonium as, I think, beloved actor Donald Faison. I don't know about you guys. Yeah. I love that motherfucker. Yeah. He's hilarious. But I gotta tell you boys a secret. I've never seen the Powerpuff Girls. Not outside of like catching it for a second on TV. Yeah. I was never into it. I don't care about it. It sounds weird to how do you even do a live action Powerpuff? Are they gonna be normal looking people? Is it gonna be like the weird Riverdale show that they did?
It's gonna be exactly like that. Exactly. Greg Berlanti, the guy who he's the quote-unquote architect of the CW's extensive Arrowverse, as well as shows like Rivendell and the Sabrina reboot, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. This is going to be so fucking bad. I already feel bad for Donald Faison for being a part of this, because I, too, love him, and I'm going to have to actively shit all over him when this comes out, and I don't want to do it. It's like taking old Yeller out back and shoot him. I'm not ready.
I'm ready. Fuck that guy. Scrubs is an awful show. I'm sorry. I want to be with you on this, but it's just
not as bad as The Office.
But it's like The Office is around because of Scrubs. Like Scrubs is the like prototypical The Office.
So therefore, you hate Scrubs more?
Yeah. I mean, I hate them both pretty equally at this point, to be honest with you. But I don't know. Regardless, I mean, the show is going to be dumb, right? I know that they're doing like a just from this article. It takes place like they're grown up now or something, or they're in their 20s, and piss vortex.
For those of you listening and not watching the YouTube video, Scott just updated his background to a picture of the original Lola Bunny from the first Space Jam film, with a screenshot of a tweet from @PissVortex.
Wise words.
Yeah, that says, the liberals took away Lola Bunny's fat fucking tits. Cancel culture has gone too far.
Piss Vortex just totally fucking disarmed me.
It's so good. It's up there.
I don't even know what you were talking about.
It's up there with Boner Hitler. Boner Hitler's a good one too.
You ever see a Twitter handle? Jesus. A Twitter handle, and you're just like, fuck, why didn't I think of it? Genius. Piss Vortex. Fucking beautiful. Oh my God. I don't even remember what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really need to talk about it, right? Like, it's going to be bad. We can move on, right?
It's going to be bad.
Yeah,
especially because it's going to be in the
on.
CW verse. Ugh.
Yeah, I know. But before we move on, a word from our sponsor. Boys, if you ever get thirsty and you want to crack open a cold one, but you don't want all the calories...
Go on, Chris. Yes, that's exactly how I feel all the time.
In that case, you should reach for a nice cold Bud Light seltzer. I got the grapefruit flavor here.
I thought you were doing Piss Vortex, TM.
Yeah, really.
Shh, I'm trying to get us a sponsor. Bud Light Seltzer is cool, refreshing, especially when it's hot outside on a warm summer day. Springtime's coming. Crack open a Bud Light Seltzer. It's only 100 calories, boys. 5% alcohol.
Feels like you're saying all things that also apply to Piss Vortex, and we might as well get sponsored by them. Once we create that company, of course.
Hashtag sponsor us, Piss Vortex.
What would Piss Vortex be, though? Would it be like an energy drink, or would it be like...
Oh, that's not good.
Would it be a
Bud Light Seltzer?
Well, we just lost their sponsor. Hope Piss Vortex comes through.
No, I have 3 other flavors I can try.
You better hope the Corona Seltzer's good, or we're fucked. I like how like one company had a good idea, like we'll make a hard seltzer, and they'll love it. They'll lap it up, and then every shitty beer company's like, we can do that.
Yeah, we're gonna do it too.
We'll just shut down this one factory, fire all of our workers who've been brewing beer there for like 40 years, and turn it into a seltzer factory. It's okay.
I've been trying to stop drinking IPAs because they're the number one source of me getting continuously fatter. So I've been trying out different. Well, here it's a gateway for me because
you don't look fat at all. You know,
right
now you are the most fuckable dad.
Yeah, really.
Thanks, boys. I am pretty fat. It just I don't know. It doesn't always show immediately in my face. It shows in my man titties and my
and
my
that big that big fat dick, right?
And that big
gained all the weight right in that dick.
Yeah,
at least 2 to 3 pounds per square inch of dick.
For the listeners at home who can't see, Chris is holding up his prized dong right now.
God.
Yeah. He actually has it on like a little pillow, like a pallbearer holds the wedding ring on, and it looks spectacular.
The thing I threw over my shoulder earlier was in my pants. It was the condom I ripped off of my giant cock. So I've seen like Justin Long has a podcast. I'm forgetting what the fuck it's called. It's something long.
Something forgettable like Justin Long is.
Yeah, getting along.
I literally listen to it because the format they do is kind of funny. But anyway, they constantly rep Bud Light Seltzer. And Justin Long, you're really cool, but fuck you. This is garbage. I will say the Corona one is not that bad. It's surprisingly not that bad. But this is not what we're supposed to talk about. That's supposed to be a fake commercial for Bud Light Seltzer. I take back what I said. It tastes delicious. Please sponsor me.
Yeah, Piss Vortex. 10
yeah,
out of 10.
We're going to have to really put all the eggs in the Piss Vortex basket, seems like.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm saying that it should be like little shooters like of alcohol, like hard alcohol, but it's also a 5-hour energy shot. So it's
and they're shaped like dicks. You have to suck it out.
Yeah, it's all of the heart palpitations and liver damage you would get out of a Four Loko, but with one sip. Just one slam it back, and you're... Yeah.
We're going to be world famous in the bachelorette party market. You shape them like dicks. Like, they're just going to, party time! There's going to be little dick shots
Don't forget about gay nightclubs. They're going to make a booming comeback, man.
Also true. As opposed to the tube shot girl that walks around, our guy.
Yeah.
It'll be little dick shots.
Yeah.
Just a little tray of dicks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, can we call them mouth pops? It's a mouth pop. You guys want a mouth pop? I want to keep saying it until it catches on.
I guess we can't call them Piss Vortex. That'd be a very niche market. We're trying to sell
Bear Grylls, and that's about it. That's where it starts and ends.
Fuck, I'm tired tonight, but I am still feeling randy, and that was a fantastic joke. Thank you, dear. Okay, moving on, because we do have an absolute just fucking Piss Vortex worth of stuff to talk about. Mortal Kombat was delayed. Guess by how much?
Is it 1 week for no reason?
It's been. The movie has been delayed by exactly 1 week. Don't panic. It's been delayed by 1 week. Will now arrive in theaters on April 23rd. Boys, we are just a few short weeks away from watching, hopefully, some sick titties combat. Derek, how do you feel about Mortal Kombat? Are you excited for it?
I'm incredibly excited for it. It being delayed by a week is like, whatever, big deal. I mean, it looks like they just did it to like let Kong versus Godzilla make whatever money they think it's going to make. And once that window closes, I guess it's just a matter of trying to isolate sort of the income from those two IPs. So whatever, it's a fucking week. Who cares?
Yeah, it's really not a big deal. And by the way, Godzilla vs. Kong apparently had a pretty good box office opening weekend.
Okay.
Although I can't for the life of me tell you why.
Oh my God.
Like what's relative to like the coronavirus numbers?
Yeah, it was like 40 mil or something, which is crazy for pandemic time. Yeah. What's going on, Scott?
I know what I have to do. but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
Oh God.
This sounds. I can't tell which way it sounds. Go ahead. What are you doing?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna do it. It's okay. I'm doing it.
All right.
Excellent. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to hear.
Am I waiting for it?
I mean, you can, but you can just go about your business, and it's gonna happen eventually.
That's fucking dark. All right, Mortal Kombat delayed a week, not a huge deal. There's a piece of news that I thought sounded pretty interesting here. I don't pay for Scott. Do you pay for Shudder?
I do, yeah.
So horror streaming service Shudder announces a halfway to Halloween month. Look, you can have any excuse to run some kind of promotion that you want, but it actually sounds kind of neat. Throughout this month of April, they're going to be running a bunch of different movies that are popping up week to week. There's going to be some Shudder original series. Creepshow Season 2 has premiered April 1st. Train to Busan is a Shudder exclusive film. Train to Busan Presents Peninsula also came out April 1st. There's a ton of stuff. I'm not going to read through the list. It just sounds kind of badass. I mean, none of the movies particularly jump out to me, but then again, I'm not a super huge horror aficionado. It's pretty neat though. I mean, it actually made me think that I might want to grab like a month subscription or something, like a trial, and check out some of the shit going on this month. Did you take a look at any of the stuff?
Just use mine. So I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be worth the trial cost.
No,
I mean, like, they have a few decent classics that they're putting up there and a few originals, but 90% of their original content they post are horrible B movies that me as a huge horror fan can barely sit through.
Oh boy.
I mean, they like the Joe Bob's Last Drive-In is fun. Okay, I thought the dog was farting. It's just a motorcycle. All right.
Easy to confuse.
Same noise, totally.
Yeah. I mean, that bully's gonna blow any day now, man. I'm just waiting for the day he implodes. Sorry. It's not a bad service for the value rate. It's like $6 or $7 a month.
Wow.
It's so cheap. I don't even know how much it actually fucking costs. Like, I don't even acknowledge it on my bank statements. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's just it's hard to be excited about what they're like laying out right now, because none of it is, you know, like what the fan base wants is they want them to get exclusives that aren't being released in theaters because of the coronavirus, because of the pushback. Like that movie Antlers that was scheduled to come out I think first quarter of last year, looks incredible, and it's been a year and it hasn't played anywhere outside of like small like, I don't know what you call it, like art house film festival.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of horror out there that's been delayed that they could buy the rights to and stream, and they're just putting out the same shit they always do, business as usual. Like, it takes 2 steady cams and 5 teenagers willing to get naked to film half the fucking movies on their platform. This is just business as usual. It's not a big event like they're making it out to be.
That's a bummer.
I know. I hate to be that guy, but I'm that guy.
Maybe they should slightly raise the cost of their monthly service so that they can actually have the fucking cash to buy some of the rights to those movies.
I honestly would be for that, and I think most of the subscribers would be too. Like, if you're subscribing to a horror only platform, you're obviously a huge fucking fan of the genre, right? But the fact that like Psycho Goreman wasn't on there, like all these great horror releases that come out, and like how much today I in the last few days I've rented multiple horror movies and gone to see multiple horror movies in theaters because there's nothing new on the platform that's worth watching. Honestly, if there was something cool on Shudder to watch, I would have stayed home and watched it.
Yeah,
I've been in the mood to see some new horror.
That's why I never got it, because it just struck me as that kind of service where it's like, maybe, you know, on their website they're like featuring the like 3 or 4 known films that are on there, and then once you actually put your credit card down, it's just like when Netflix streamable first launched, it was just like 4 things everybody knew about, and then just thousands of titles of fucking nonsense. So hearing you say that vindicates me a little bit, and I still, like, I know some good things come out. Like, I think The Void was originally like a Shudder exclusive, wasn't it?
I believe so, back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, like years ago. So I mean, it's not like, you know.
Was that a Wednesday?
I don't know.
You lost me on that one.
There's a Dane Cook reference.
Oh, okay.
He's being a piece of shit. I was trying to Trying to make him work for it.
It strikes again. That was pretty Van Damme, Scott. You know what's fucked up? He gets every single one of the references, so I know that dirty knowledge is buried somewhere in that brain.
Oh God, no.
That took as long as it did because I added the censor bar.
Okay, well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh no!
Save Chris a little bit of editing work.
Yeah. I didn't want to make you have to go through to edit my video.
Holy shit, bro!
Yeah. Who won, boys? Who do you think won?
You know what's fucked up?
Looks like they're both winning to me.
Seems like they both did, yeah.
Whatever, fucking Shudder is doing stuff.
Are they docking, or do you think they're just like rubbing their dicks against?
Only Scott can tell us.
Kong is definitely cornholing the king of lizards.
Oh, he's bumming him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Lizard dicks smaller than you think, even on a big lizard. Weird.
Jeez. All right.
Do you think he calls it like his little iguana?
Don't forget to work the iguana.
Oh no.
All right.
Okay, only if you tickled my banana. So after the Shudder news, there's one more thing, semi-horror related, if you want to call it horror. The paranormal. I've actually never asked Scott this before, which is my 90% of the driving factor for including this. The Paranormal Activity franchise, which has been going on for quite a while now. How many films have there been? I'm bad. I should have looked that up ahead of time.
I think there's
12,
like four or five by now.
Yeah.
They did the original 3, and then they did one that was like
there's 6.
Ooh.
Because there's the first numbered 3, then there's the first numbered 4, then there's the marked ones and the Ghost Dimension. The Ghost Dimension, seriously.
That's the worst subtitle.
So there's a new Paranormal Activity movie coming out. We don't need to say who's in it. The article is a casting announcement, but you won't know any of them because that's kind of the whole thing with Paranormal Activity is that they're mostly unknowns.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. Good for them. Maybe someone gets a spotlight and has more of a career than working in Paranormal Activity films. The director, Will Eubank, it's going to be coming directly to Paramount Plus. Cool. Another thing that we're all supposed to subscribe to, aka ask Nick to get it a week in advance so that we can watch it on time. And it's apparently slated for a March 4th, 2022 release. So that's all the information. Now, Scott, how do you actually feel about the series? Did you like any of them?
No. Well, I mean, like the first one was fine. I mean, like it was all right.
Okay.
But it's just they're beating a dead horse. They did the same thing with Paranormal Activity they did with The Conjuring and Saw, right? Like the first one in the series felt inspired. It felt like it was something they had thought out for a long time, and it was a kind of a cool, clever twist on the genre. And then they do the same thing again and again and again, changing the tiny, small moving parts, just enough to break in as much cash as they can out of it, right? Like it's bad, soulless.
Yeah, but terrible. Scott, it's not like we have another Saw adjacent property to talk about today, right?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. If you want to segue right into that from this, I'll tell you that like I stopped reading this article when I saw the words Paramount Plus. I was like, nope, don't care.
Right.
I'm gonna catch that one.
Yeah, whenever I see like CBS All Access or Paramount Plus in an article for our podcast, I just stop reading right there because that's all I'm going to talk shit on. That's all the ammo I need.
Fair enough. We can definitely talk about Spiral because it makes so much sense. We'll do that, and then the last news story, and then we'll do the other trailers. But I liked 2 of the Paranormal Activity films. I liked the first one, and I don't know how telling this is because I forget the name of the other one, but it's the one where it's like in the 80s, and there's the 2 little girls, and they use like the 80s camcorder. They did some neat tricks in that one because of the technology, but it was like look at my sparkler. It's slightly different than this other one I have lit up. Derek, did you see any of them? Did you like any of them?
I think I saw the first 3, and the first one I was into because it was kind of like
this feels new.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a pioneer in what it was doing, but it had enough fresh ideas, and the scares were subtle, which I think is why it worked. And then with the other ones, it's sort of like the gimmick kind of ran its course at that point. And they had to, of course, because it's a sequel, try to go bigger and better. And it's just like with that style of movie, it just doesn't work.
Right.
I think keeping it like minor scares and minor shit moving around makes it feel more believable, even though you know all that's bullshit, but it just makes it feel more believable. So when you go for these like big screams and crazy shit, I don't know. I think it just ruined it. I only saw, I think, the first 3 though, so like I can't comment on all of them.
Do you remember the 80s one with the old camera footage? I feel like it was 3, but I don't know for sure.
That sounds familiar, and I think that it was like the girl from the first one as a kid and like her sister or something. Oh, very nice.
Paranormal Activity.
God, you came prepared, huh?
Yeah, I'm ready today.
I'm just doing these on the fly, boys.
Oh wow! All right, it's even more impressive.
Yeah, I did have the news. I did have the news thing set up, but you guys want to see the news thing?
Yeah, I mean,
you want to see the news thing?
Yeah, basically.
Huh?
All right, give me a second here. We're gonna go back to pod. It's crucial that we do this in the right way, right? I know,
right,
I know, okay. I know we have shit to talk about. I'm sorry, I'm being the worst, but I promise it's worth it.
Oh, very good.
Oh, God damn it!
I can literally hear it.
Oh, that's exactly what it is. The paranormal activity shouldn't be in there.
It's okay.
You better be careful with this. Make sure you turn off your fucking mic switch.
No, we're good. We're good. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Breaking news: this movie fucking sucks.
There was one scare trick that I thought was clever in the old one, the 80s one, which is that with the panning there was a section where the camera was panning across the kitchen into the living room and back, and it just built so much good tension because you knew something was going to happen. And then it pans over and you see somebody under a sheet, and it goes back, and there's a woman walking in the kitchen, and you're like, oh fuck, and it goes back, and it goes right up to the back of the woman, and then pans back, and it just goes poof, and like crumples to the ground. Like, okay, that was clever. He got me. My britches are a little moist. Okay. Bring it back to last week. I had a moist 3-pointer. Okay. Almost forgot about that. I didn't forget.
No.
Yeah, before we get too far away from it. Oh, Jesus. Scott, what's Spiral?
Really?
You tell me?
Tell
me what it is?
Is that my transition?
I don't know if I can talk about this movie.
Are you not excited for it?
No.
No, really?
Me neither.
Look. This could be a good thing because it might really surprise me. And with the talent attached,
you're being punished. You're getting Kong and Godzilla fucking again.
So before we get too deep into
if you disagree with me, you have to see Godzilla get bummed.
It's called Spiral from the Book of Saul. So there's our, connection to our current conversation. Chris Rock, Samuel L. Jackson, Max Minghella, Marisol Nichols, they're all in it. I don't know. Here's the thing. Anything even like tangentially related to Saul at this point, I immediately write off as shit in my head. So it might be great, but my brain just goes, no, don't want to see it. The whole Jigsaw thing was way too fucking played out.
I mean, yeah, no shit. Like they've been bad for years. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be excited about Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson being in a horror movie together. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying.
That's literally that's all I'm excited for. Like I don't give a fuck about the Saw property. I haven't liked them since 2. 2 was the last one I thought was even watchable.
Yeah.
But
they have entertainment value though.
I'm with you on that. Entertainment value. Yeah, like it's torture porn, right?
Yeah.
But it's way
100%.
fucking better than Hostel.
Yeah, the writing is
Hostel
embarrassing
3?
though. It's they're writing for what they think is like smart people, but it's not smart people at all. Like they just try to connect dots fucking everywhere. It's just the lost of horror movies. It's really just bad.
Like every M. Night Shyamalan twist, you could tell that it was written on the spot. They were like
while they were filming. Wait a second.
Yeah, they were in the middle of shooting. They were like, "What if we tried this?"
Yeah, it's dumb. I hate Chris Rock's stupid face in this trailer so much. His facial hair just bothers me. I don't know why. Every fucking moment he was on screen, I was just irrationally angry just to
really his facial
look
hair?
at him. Just his face. He looks dumb. I don't know. I hate it. Not normally in this trailer, I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
it's just weird. It's
you.
unsettling.
I did just now realize, all of a sudden, that he's just got the goatee or whatever you would call it, the soul. I don't know. It's just the bottom, and that's I don't know.
He looks like a guy that burps into a napkin. That's the only way I can describe it. It's really.
Oh my god.
I I don't know. The trailer didn't really do anything for me. It didn't get me excited. I mean, yeah, I do agree. Seeing Chris Rock and Sam Jackson attached to a horror movie does make me a little more excited, but the property just it feels like they're going to be shackled down by forcing themselves to make a reference to this fucking like lore that I don't give a fuck about. I don't know if it's going to be light enough. If it's going to be light touch, and I don't have to like know anything, or light touch, and like they just mentioned a couple things offhandedly, and I'm like, okay, it's fine. But if they go real deep into like who Jigsaw was and like this copycat killer, which it made it feel like they were going to from this trailer, I'm probably going to just tune the fuck out.
Yeah, and
just look forward to like the action pieces. And then
people getting their like faces torn off and stuff. I mean, that part of, I mean, in all seriousness, though, like even the original ones, it's like that aspect of it is still enjoyable because it's a lot of practical effects. Of course, we love practical effects here. So even though the stories are dumb and the
see, that's normal Chris Rock facial hair.
Rock, yeah.
Now shave off everything, mustache included, except for right here.
I think old angry Chris Rock is a smoke show. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I think he's got some real Denzel Washington energy, but like in a likable way. That's possible.
Yeah, but the other thing is like now as Sam Jackson's in the movie, anytime Sam Jackson is in a movie, it's just a Sam Jackson movie now. It's like it's going to be.
I don't know, man.
Dependent on like one-liners from him, they're going to be the same fucking one-liners he said in every movie for the past 20 years.
I don't think so.
I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I didn't get
that from the trailer at all.
I
think this is Chris Rock's movie, and I think this is a cameo. I think we're probably going to see Samuel L. Jackson murdered in this movie. Like that's going to be probably one of the big like.
One can hope. Not the character he plays, Samuel L. Jackson. We see him die.
Why?
That's what I want.
That's bad.
Yeah, just kidding, Sam. If you're a fan, love you.
He's not.
He's
hate
not.
to spoil it. Yeah. I know we're not a spoiler-free podcast, but we probably should warn you guys before I said that one. It's not.
What do you mean? You mean Sam Jackson's not here for the Godzilla Kong porn?
I'm not saying Sam Jackson can't enjoy King Kong Godzilla Rule 34. We're all flesh and blood. We're all human. He can do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
He's only a man. But I don't think he's here for it. I don't think he is.
We could make him feel bad for it, though. And we should.
All right,
he's probably doodling his own Rule 34 as like Nick
Mace
Fury.
Windu.
Or Mace Windu,
okay.
yeah. I mean, maybe it's Mace Windu and Nick Fury fucking each other, right? Like he's...
that's what was in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
Hey, Chris, can you make that our episode image? Or better yet, just use my image of King Kong and Godzilla with the censor bar.
Maybe we'll use that. That's pretty good. That's actually not bad. Yeah, I'll keep that one mentally filed away.
He's not doing it.
So, no, why not? I'm doing it.
Are you really?
Don't tempt me. I'll do it.
All right, maybe. I still
hey,
do it.
That makes it easier on me. That means I don't have to make one. You're saving me time. Don't underestimate my laziness, boys. All right. So that's the trailer. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. I just want to see more from it. I kind of on the fence. I mean, I agree with a lot of the stuff that Derek said, but I mean, I also agree with some stuff Scott said. I don't think it didn't feel like typical Sam Jackson to me. He seemed to be doing some actual acting instead of just going something, motherfucker. But that being said, it's pretty early. It's pretty early out right now, so we'll have to see what happens. There's one piece of movie news before we do. Well, it's all movie news, boys. One piece of kind of cancellations moving around the slate before we get into our slate of trailers, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trailers to talk about. Some of them will have probably barely anything to say, but this is some news. Warner Brothers has announced they're opting to not move forward with 2 films that they were working on. One of them being New Gods, which was going to be from Ava DuVernay. It was going to focus on sort of the Jack Kirby fourth world stuff. The closest comparison I could give you was like the Eternals, or if they focused on like Thanos and his family, kind of his rule, it would be something like that. That's like we definitely would have seen like Granny Goodness, who we talked about before. Yeah. There's a character called Highfather. There's a character called Barda, the Furies, all this shit. It's all really like the guy clearly smoked a ton of like shrooms before.
If Tommy Chong isn't cast as Highfather, it's a fucking travesty. That's all I'm gonna say.
Absolutely. Yeah. But so they took that off of their release slate, and they also took off The Trench, which was going to be a James Wan offshoot from Aquaman, featuring those creepy critters who live down in the deepest depths of the ocean. And they were actually kind of framing it as like a horror film, which was an interesting angle, only for the fact that there hasn't really been a horror superhero movie before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, New Mutants tried, but it was basically.
You saw it, right?
Yeah, it was basically like, remember that movie, that Liam Neeson movie, The Haunting? It was that with X-Men characters. Is all it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like all their all their psychosis physically manifest, and it's not scary, it's not interesting. It felt like part one of a 3-part trilogy, and they banked on having. Holy shit,
Liam Neeson is in The Haunting. I was like, he wasn't in that. Nope, I was wrong.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
She dips beneath lasers. God damn it.
Oh god. And Owen Wilson. Wow.
Yeah, best thing that happens in that movie is Owen Wilson getting decapped. Felt real good to see that. How are you a fucking millionaire and you haven't fixed your nose yet? It bothers me. God damn it.
Can't wait to talk about Owen Wilson later.
At one point, I was going to start a cover band called Owen Wilson's Nose.
I remember you tossed that name.
It does sound familiar, yeah.
And then somewhere along the line, the whole thing went sideways.
Like just like Owen Wilson. Well, we also Twitter him the name Reese Witherspoon's teeth, but it's just not as catchy.
No. You have to think about it every time. Real easy to get tied
why not
up
just call her Teeth Witherspoon? So the New Gods movie was going to be written by Ava DuVernay, who did A Wrinkle in Time. The movie I never saw it. I don't know anything about it. You
didn't need to.
Okay, good. And Tom King, who actually is a comic book writer, who's written some pretty good Batman arcs recently. So I was at least semi-interested in what the script was going to be, whether or not it was going to be any good. But it's another sign of Warner Brothers, like, really trying to, like, now that the Snyder Cut is out, they're trying to, like, move past it and just get back to what they want to do and kind of streamline their slate. And I don't know if it's going to work. Obviously, the reaction to Snyder Cut was overwhelmingly positive. And speaking of which, I know it feels like we talk about it all the fucking time, but my wife finally watched it. We watched it in a couple parts over last week. Absolutely loved it, to the point where she made me tell her the story of, like, why they didn't release this version, because it was way better. So we had that conversation. And I just want to say, upon my kind of like second and a half viewing, because I watched like parts of it after the first time I watched it, it's fucking great. Really enjoyed it.
I actually want to do another watch soon.
But anyway, that's really the end of that news, and now we have some trailers to talk about. First up on the trailer docket, and this is fun for me because I don't know how either of you feel about the show. The Rick and Morty season. The Trench, yeah. Rick and Morty season.
But
that's okay. It's okay. The Rick and Morty season 5 trailer came out the other day. And it's for the premiere of season 5, and it's going to be dropping on Sunday, June 20th at 11 p.m. on Adult Swim. Derek, how do you feel about Rick and Morty? I don't even know. Do you like the show? Do you not?
I do like the show. It's I think I've compared it to being a Tool fan. Like, I like Tool, but I never tell people that I like Tool because I don't want other Tool fans to think that we have anything in common, because then they'll talk to me. I have to be in their proximity and then smell them and just deal with them talking about the fucking Fibonacci sequence. It's a fucking nightmare. Same thing with Rick and Morty. Like, it's a good show. It's really great. I do think that it's declined, and I think it's because Dan Harmon isn't depressed anymore. I think he does his best writing when he's like on the brink of suicide. And now that he's married again, well, it's not.
I mean,
hit him with the truth.
You're not wrong, but I don't think it's declined necessarily as much as it's like he's not putting as much pressure on himself. I mean, like the first, think about how long those first 3 seasons took. Last season was significantly faster. This season, it feels like we just ended season 4. We're already ready to go for season 5 in like 2 months.
Yeah.
What I will say is Rick and Morty is, I think, a show. It's a very smart show that dumb people eat up like fucking kibble in a dog bowl. Like people like idolize Rick, even though the whole point is that he's a fucking terrible person. He's not to be idolized.
Right.
He's just charismatic. He's a well-written character.
Yeah.
It's just a really funny, well-written show.
Yeah, that makes me happy. I love this show. I find it quite hilarious, and I was hoping neither of you were going to be in the it was good when it came out camp, because I hate those people like with a passion. They act like, I don't know, they act like the show's like gone down in like hilarity. It's still a fucking hilarious show.
It is, but I do think like when you look at seasons 1 through 3, like most of the episodes were memorable, and in season 4, the ones that were good were really fucking good. But I think overall, like probably about half of those episodes were like, like they weren't bad, but they were okay. I still think it's like, I think it's gone down from the previous seasons. I still want to watch this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like, oh, it sucks, but I'm just worried that it's headed in a lesser direction.
I think it's that some episodes are so high concept. Like think about like the Vat of Acid episode.
It's so good.
Like that. Yeah, like that's
so good,
dude. Like that's fucking phenomenal. Or the two Beths at the end of this last season. Like there's some episodes, or the cliffhanger and the opener, the cliffhanger at the end of season 3 and the opener of season 4. Or am I thinking of? It might have been the end of season 2.
Are you talking about when Rick gets captured?
Yeah, when Rick is captured and he's in the Shoney's and like, I think it was the
SEAL Team Rick.
Yeah, the Szechuan sauce bullshit. I think the beginning of season 3. Some episodes are so high concept, and like even like the reality train, right? Like they're so like some of them are so like they put so much thought into it that I don't blame them for having a dumb fucking episode to fill in those gaps, because like the writing on some episodes is so like methodical almost. Like they put so much time into it. It all makes sense, but it's all nonsense, and it's so much fucking fun.
Talking about high concept, what about the Dragon Orgy episode? Because that's really the highest concept. God, I love that fucking episode.
Yeah, that's a hard one to get through.
That to me is one of the trash tier dog shit episodes, but it's still fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
but it's bottom of the barrel as far as this show goes, I think.
That's what I think. Like a lot of the last season, I think that Justin Roiland is a fucking excellent voice actor, and I think that a lot more of it is lying on now just how funny he sells lines, more so than the content of the episodes themselves. I don't know if that makes sense, but
I mean, I guess
I just feel
naturally
like it's just more about how fucking hilariously he delivers every single line that he says.
Yeah,
that's true.
Was it the Vindicators? Was it the Avengers team?
Yeah.
That episode was so fucking. He just rips them apart, and the whole episode is great because it's like Rick's such a bag of shit, and Morty is like up to this level where he just knows it at this point.
Yeah,
and he's like, yeah, I know what you're doing. You're just gonna kill all of them and like prove to me that you're fucking better, but you're still gonna be a shitty fucking grandpa. So this trailer looks really fun. It doesn't tell us a whole lot about the season. They tend to, in previous trailers, like focus on 1 or 2 episodes and cut the trailer from that, which I really appreciate because then we don't get a lot spoiled.
Yeah.
This one, they keep showing scenes of like a Power Rangers team up kind of thing where they all like matching it. Yeah, Voltron, where they all like matching outfits. I'm looking forward to it. I'm assuming that's going to be part of the premiere. It looks like the type of like come out of the gate.
We have a kaiju in the trailer, which I think is gonna be related to the Voltron. We have the horny Aquaman, which I think is gonna be a callback to when they went and got all that mermaid puss.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? Like when they went to like Atlantis. This guy's probably coming back to get some revenge and fuck all the Earth women.
Is it weird to me that like my favorite parts are always when Morty's trying to like satisfy his like prepubescent sexual urges with weird alien creatures? Because that's like the funniest shit to me. Like, no, don't take me away from here. It looks funny. I'm looking forward to it. It's sooner than we think. I mean, it's fucking April already. So June is right around the fucking corner. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, and just to speak to it feels like they're churning them out faster. Oh, it's because of the contract stuff, right? I mean, there was a whole big behind the scenes thing before where they were getting season to season renewals and sometimes negotiating for long periods in between those. And then I think the last time they got a renewal, they did multiple seasons at one time. Yeah. So they specifically said, like, we're writing through 5, 6, and I think 7. I think it was like 100 more episodes or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it went through like season 9 or something like that.
Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they actually referenced it in the show because I'm pretty sure there was the end of one episode where Rick's like, 100 more episodes, Morty! 101 more episodes, Morty, or some shit like that. Yeah. Okay. Next up, we have another announcement. Another animated announcement. It's going to be from Star Wars. We talked about this a while back at the Disney earnings call. There's a show called The Bad Batch, focusing on some clone troopers who were, well, not typical clone troopers. They debuted in Clone Wars it's in the Clone Wars TV show, and then showed up again in Rebels. Showed up again in I'm blanking here. The end of the Clone Wars season finale, the final season that came out that showed Ahsoka. And they have a new trailer that just came out, and they also are, which they announced on March 30th, and the show will be coming out on May 7th with a debut. I said that weird.
You did.
Debut.
That's okay.
With a debut.
Everybody
with a debutante.
We forgive you.
Scott said theater earlier, and I didn't fuck with him on it.
Oh, so I heard that too. I just let it slide.
What did I say?
Theater.
You said theater.
Well, yeah, you're doing it right now, man.
So the show's yeah, that's true. You couldn't hold it in, could you?
I couldn't. Yeah,
the show is debuting with a special 70-minute premiere on May the 4th because Star Wars can't help themselves from using that fucking date like it's candy. So I don't know. This is the kind of show where I actually need to watch it because the trailer doesn't do a whole lot for me. Derek, how'd you feel about the Bad Batch trailer?
I thought it looked cool. But I'm with you. Like, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I didn't watch Clone Wars. I didn't watch Rebels, so I never saw these guys before. But I mean, it looks cool. Like, it certainly merits watching a couple episodes of it. Absolutely. But I don't really know what it's about. Clearly it's about Varkin, trying to get them 86th, but that's pretty much all we have. Could be cool. Could be just nonsense. I think it's the same team who did Clone Wars, though, right? Like the
It is.
So, I mean, if that turned out, people seem to like that. So, I mean, I imagine it would have the same kind of qualities that people enjoyed about Clone Wars. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. Scott, how about you?
Well.
Oh, no. All right, you. Fucking tonight with your very well-timed background images.
I mean, it's gonna be horrible. It looks to me like they just wanted to renew the Clone Wars for another season, but they had already ended it, right? So it's gonna drag out. It's like the same. We're basically getting a continuation of a small part of that narrative. I'm not a fan of the animation style, man. I've tried so hard to get to the Clone Wars. I've tried so hard, and it's not even that it's animated, because there's plenty of animations that I do enjoy. It's just this style to me feels like cold and soulless. It feels like I'm playing the Old Republic MMO. It feels so bland to watch, and I can't. I've tried so hard, I can't get into it.
Really?
I'm with you on that. That's like a part of what turns me off of the Clone Wars. It's like, it's not that it's not well animated. Like, it's obviously like skill and artistry went into it. It's just like the style, the actual like thing they're going for. I just hate the models. I just think they look weird. I don't know. I just can't get into it.
Also, I think the Clone Wars is the shittiest war in any sci-fi ever. Like, I get that they're the Clone Wars, but they're literally all carbon copies of the same dude, and we're supposed to feel some kind of emotional attachment to these clones because they have different fucking haircuts. Shut the fuck up.
That's not why.
But that one had a mohawk, and now he's dead. Well, there's 50,000 more of the motherfuckers. Give one of them a mohawk and shut the fuck up. They're all replaceable. Don't try to tell me how they're all unique and then treat them like fucking red shirts on Star Trek in every fucking episode. Fuck you. It's bad writing. I love you, Dave Filoni, but it's bad writing. That's all I got.
Oh, I would start off by saying it's pretty unfair to say that when you haven't seen the Clone Wars, because they build legitimate relationships with several key characters.
I've watched the season and a half, and I can't get any further than that. I've tried.
That's about where I get to as well. I've tried.
Yeah.
About
like I've legit like we had a conversation around the time that this whole New Republic era was dropping. And I really genuinely tried, especially after seeing Ahsoka Tano in The Mandalorian. I wanted to understand these characters that I'd never really gotten into before, never really experienced. And I didn't make it. I didn't make it there, man. I couldn't give a fuck about anybody. Even Anakin in this looks so like plastic and robotic with the animation style that I couldn't give a fuck about characters that I genuinely love in the live action stuff.
Well, I want you to both know that I feel personally attacked.
It's not about you, man. It's about Dave Filoni. He's got a big old brain under that cowboy hat. But
I tried. This is not obviously the show should work as a whole, right? It absolutely should. But it's also episodic and made for kids. So that's why I was like pushing like go look up an episode list of here's where all the important shit happens, because
my OCD I don't think Chris, I'm sorry.
I don't know what to tell you. Some of these clones I have a really like attachment to from watching that show. Like
what are their names? They all have individual names, even though they're clones.
Yeah,
all of them.
I would assume so.
Each and every one of them.
Anyway, some of the characters in the Bad Batch have had through lines.
Pretty sure they all have numbers and letters for names, Chris.
Through the Clone Wars, FN2187 have through lines through the Clone Wars TV show. So, and even the last season, there's I honestly forget this one's name, but there's the super pale one with the fucking droid piece on the side of his head.
You're making my argument for me, Chris. You know, the one with the thing on his head. I'm sorry, but with this animation style, if they wanted to make these characters,
I'm not trying to kick you when you're down, but that was just perfect. I can't think of his name, but he had the thing on his head.
I'm drawing a blank.
If you want to make these characters stand out, and like it should have been done more in the storytelling and their personalities, even though they were all clones.
Oh, there he is.
They should have all had unique and different personalities instead of all having the same fucking personality, just different haircuts.
Well, they do have different personalities, though. Like I mean,
they've been conditioned through different training, but they all have the same personalities. They have different life experiences.
Pale boy, told you that guy.
Paleman.
I like how you googled an image of him, which means you clearly remembered his name and typed it in, but you're still not using his name. You just call him Pale Boy.
I refuse to now. No, so he actually had a really good arc in the last season of the Clone Wars that came out, but whatever. I'm not convincing you guys. I'm gonna watch the shit out of it. And
what was his arc? What was his arc in the last season?
He had been capped so before they canceled Clone Wars, there was they kind of left it as a cliffhanger because they weren't able to finish it. He was captured by separatists, and you know the Techno Union, those fucking Robo guys from the Clone Wars. They had him, and they were kind of hacking into his head, trying to pull information up. Yeah, trying to pull like Republic battle plans out of his head, and they found him all fucked up and like cybernetic replacements everywhere. They rescued him and restored his head, and now he's in the Bad Batch. They actually, at the end of the Clone Wars final season, he was recruited by the Bad Batch. So he's like the newest member.
He looks like a couple of college kids playing ultimate frisbee with a Roomba and clocked him in the back of the head with it.
Ultimate frisbee with a Roomba?
That's all I got, yeah.
It also looks like he has a flathead screwdriver for a hand.
It does. Yeah, that's what that is.
Especially in that image.
How does he tweak his little dinker? Like,
he probably doesn't have a little dinker.
I was going to say, do they have dinkers, or they take their dinkers away when they make them?
Boys, it is a sad day. Mark your calendars, 4/5/21, that I realized I do not know a very important piece of Star Wars lore, which is whether or not the clones have dick and balls.
Dinkers.
Yeah, dinkers.
I'm sorry. The proper
it's new canon.
The proper Star Wars nomenclature, little dinkers.
If music can be called
dinks.
jizz in Star Wars, then peepees can be called dinkers. All right, I'm gonna look it up. Did the clones have dinkers?
I hope you find a fucking article from like Wikipedia that says no, they had no dinkers.
All right, fuck it. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Okay.
Do you think he calls that screwdriver his dinker tinker?
That's my secret cap. I am the dinker tinker. Everybody else puts their dinkers in him. He's like a walking robotic sex toy, right? How many can he hold at once?
Do you think R2 comes when he plugs into ship computers and does that little?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then sometimes he gets the shock and he does the yell.
Yeah.
And
that's the vinegar strokes. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it's oil or is it actual like cum that comes out? Does he have a little cum tank in there somewhere?
I think
he's got a lot of other
static
tools.
Electricity, right? Like that little zap.
Yeah, because if you had a tank, then it begs the question of who filled the tank.
Ooh.
Uncle Owen had a lot of free time.
Oh my god, we didn't talk about the fucking Star Wars Obi-Wan casting announcement because we try to avoid casting announcements now, but what's his name? Uncle Owen, the actor they portrayed for young Uncle Owen in the prequel trilogy, is fucking back.
Yeah,
in Peru.
That guy with the weird face.
Isn't it Joel Edgerton?
Yeah.
He
was in that movie It Comes at Night.
It being me.
I mean, it
and Uncle Owen apparently.
Yeah. Do you think that blue milk was secretly from like?
We know the orders of the blue milk, unfortunately, but that giant vat they were lowering C-3PO into, who knows what was in that, right?
Right.
Yeah. How else do you think they refill R2's cum tank?
What if Uncle Owen looked like a normal human, but he just had a blue dick that came blue? I feel like it should be written into Star Wars lore. I'm sorry, a blue dinker. Sorry.
Blue dinker.
Yeah.
Well,
gotta stay.
Well, I mean, he's human, so he would still be a dick, right? But only the weird little headphone head guys have dinkers. Right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Like the guy in Cloud City.
Yeah. I forget what they're called, but also who gives a fuck what they're called, right?
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not Googling that to correct myself.
If I saw the name, I would go, "Oh, right, that's him." But I don't. Yeah, not off the top of my head. Anyway, speaking of weird shit that no one cares about, there's a new Black Widow trailer that just came out. Boys, how do you feel about it? Okay, talking shit aside, because I know none of us care about it. I actually kind of like the trailer. It was fun. I don't know. I mean, it didn't do anything for me, but it was fun. It looked like mindless, stupid Marvel fun, but it looked.
I agree with you. Like, I think that if it, there's no reason that this movie should have any substance or anything to say about anything, right? And as long as they know that and just like make it popcorn theater, I'll put it on one day, like when I'm bored and there's nothing else to do. And if it's just trying to be an exciting movie and it succeeds in that, then whatever, it'll be an afternoon well spent. But if it tries to like tie it in or like create a new timeline within the MCU and then make like prequel sequels and shit, that's just going to be a fucking nightmare.
Can I just say that it feels like the studio is trying so desperately to go, hey, remember she's an Avenger? That the first 30 seconds of this trailer is nothing but shots from her with the rest of the Avengers in other movies until they fade to white and it says like this July, even though there's no Mr. Movie Phone guy in there. Scott, how'd you feel about this trailer? I'm gonna bet Scott is fervently looking for another picture. God damn it, you beat me to it. How'd you feel about the trailer? I think we're all in agreement that this is probably gonna suck. Oh no. Is he doing the thing where he doesn't answer us?
Yeah, he's doing the Jack Nicholson thing.
Except for he's a little drunk and I can hear him giggling back there. Come on out there, Scott.
I could go get a beer right now. You guys would never know because I have the same thing to say about the next 3 articles. I feel like.
Oh no, that's good though. That means we can just get on with our giant fuckfest of actual reviews this week. There's nothing really to say about this trailer. I think we've announced it already, but they decided to actually release it on platforms people are comfortable watching it on. You fucking dickheads. July 9th, it's coming out in theaters and also on Disney Plus with Premier Access, which means I will not be paying for it.
Yeah.
Hashtag Nick Benson. Hashtag Plex Daddy.
Are you just want to dox him live on the podcast?
Yeah. That's such a generic name. Like, we're fine. My name's Chris Reed. You know how many Chris Reeds are out there in the world? Hi, guys. Chris Reed. Doesn't matter.
Only one's an admin on the TCN Facebook page, though, guys. If you want to track him down and send him some shit in the mail.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also realized I had
Anthrax,
Jesus Christ, don't offer that up.
He loves Anthrax.
Yeah, my son loves sniffing it.
No.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you did.
No, you made it real. I was just funning.
What do we think? Look, I know none of us care, but any thoughts? Do you think Taskmaster's a new person, or do you think it's somebody we already know?
Who gives a shit? Right?
I think it's going to be, is Taskmaster, oh, Jesus. Is that
Taskmaster?
Is that the person in the goggles that looks like he's going skiing? Okay. I think it's David Harbour. I think it's going to be his, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's pulling double duty?
Yeah.
As Red Guardian and also.
I don't know, man. He's looking pretty thick as Red Guardian.
He's a thick boy.
He's looking thiggy thick. And I don't think he could fit into that Taskmaster outfit. I do think Taskmaster's probably going to be somebody who, spoiler alert, was hired by fucking Samuel L. Jackson to hunt her down while she's on the lam.
Really? Okay.
I think that like in the fall, this movie's probably going to take place in the gap between Infinity War and Endgame, right before she takes over the mantle. Or wait, no, Nick Fury's gone, so someone's after her. But I think the remnants of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think it's supposed to be between Civil War and Infinity War.
Really?
I could be wrong,
then
but
I care even less about the narrative. Then it's crazy.
Like because I think
somehow
she was
give a shit less. Didn't think that was possible.
I think because she's on the run and she decides to just go home to kind of lose some of the heat because the government.
Yeah, they'll never look for you where you were born and raised. Good move, stupid bitch.
Jesus Christ.
What a bad no, but like no offense to her, like
it's a secret program. How would they know where that is? Maybe Shield does.
I mean, they have intel, bro. Like where do you think they tracked her down, right? Like they like gave her an ultimatum in canon in the MCU that she would either work for them or she could spend the rest of her life in jail.
Right.
So they know all about her dirty shit.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
I also want to know all about her dirty shit.
Hey. What kind of like Call of Duty fucking unlockable bonus pack that you can buy in the store outfit is Taskmaster wearing? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's small ninja shit. It's really doesn't look good.
Yeah, I mean it's 100% like you know how like when the Black Ops 3 came out, they had those legends you could play as, and they all had like special ults and shit.
Yeah.
Arguably the most fun Call of Duty in the last 10 years, but also big dumb on he just looks like the Archer chick. That's all he is. He's Hanzo. He's ridiculous.
He's Hanzo. Oh my god, he is. Or Genji,
what's
rather.
Total Genji energy.
What's the movie with just like the three kid? Is it called Three Ninjas? It's actually called Three Ninjas.
Yeah, but I don't remember this. You might be thinking of Surf Ninjas with Leslie Nielsen and Rob Schneider.
No, it's Three Ninjas. Yeah, because there's Three Ninjas and Three Ninjas Kickback. That's what it was.
Okay. So
this guy's outfit looks like he's going to be the direct to TV like villain in the next Three Ninjas movie. Like it's that fucking bad.
Yeah.
I'm freeze framed on it right now. It's like, really, bro? You put it into the skull? Actually, go ahead.
Well, what's crazy to me is that like they spend so much of their time trying to like take all these superhero costumes and make them more grounded in reality, right? Like with a lot of the villains, especially. And with this one, they just went full fuckboy on a motorcycle, right? Like that guy who passes you on 95 going like 110 miles an hour. And you think to yourself for just a second, I hope he fucking crashes. But then you think, oh, no, I don't want to watch this man's entire face spread out over the course of a mile of a highway. Then you feel guilty about thinking that. But you still kind of...
I never feel guilty. I just double down on it. I want to see it happen. But yeah, everybody went to high school with a Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. We all knew that guy.
Yeah. He had a chain wallet, 100%.
Oh yeah,
but like nothing in the wallet they had to worry about losing, and the chain was just for show. Yeah. Wouldn't want to lose that Subway punch card, right, Mark?
Got him. Fucking got him.
Yeah, I don't even know a Mark. I'm just being mean.
I will say that Taskmaster as a villainous concept is kind of neat. I don't know what you guys know about him, but he basically can mimic any other hero's abilities. So you'll see that's why you see him shooting arrows like Hawkeye or anyone with an archery skill because Hawkeye is not superhuman.
How do you know he's not just an archer too?
You see him using a shield much in the fashion that Cap might use a shield in this trailer.
But he has to fight you to learn your style, though. He has to like in canon. He has to like physically fight you to mimic your style. Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Because like if he has those abilities already, but those people aren't in this movie, maybe he is someone from the past.
Right.
But also, again, who gives a fuck, right? Like we wait a year for this movie, and I couldn't be less excited. Like you could tell me that we see full beef in this, and I wouldn't care. David Harbour could bend over and spread his cheeks and show us that sad little cornhole. I wouldn't care. I'm not here for it.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we all know everyone wants to fuck David Harbour.
I'd rather see his beehole than ScarJo at this point. 100%.
Yeah. That's true. What about David Harbeev?
Oh no, Harbeev Weinstein.
Oh no.
Oh no. Nope. All right, let's move on.
That's the worst thing you've ever said.
I don't think so.
That's the new bottom.
That was very confident. I don't think so. All right, up next in a long line of trailers that don't need to actually happen, there's a new Space Jam movie coming out, boys, featuring LeBron James, and it's coming out sooner than we want it to. Mm-hmm. It's July 16th. Space Jam: A New Legacy. The trailer dropped. I don't know. I have basically nothing to say about this other than the first movie was a touchstone in my childhood, and this one I could probably care less about. Obviously, it's not aimed at us. It's aimed at those kids, or it's aimed at those of us who now are old enough to have kids who might give a shit about it. The one thing I will point out, and I'm stealing this from another website, is that while Michael Jordan only needed Bill Murray and Newman in the first film to beat the Monstars, LeBron James needs Superman and Iron Giant and people from different corners of the Warner Brothers lot. I just gotta say, proof who the king is, boys.
Yeah, it's embarrassing for him.
It really is, LeBron. Bad look.
I mean, the first bad look is seeing him go into full cartoon form, right? Like right there, I was like, blasphemy. This is fucking atrocious. And then them all going real life, like going real life CGI instead of being animated. Like, bro, like you're fucking up. Like the whole thing about that movie that made it great was that it was a throwback to like all like Who Framed Roger Rabbits, the fucking. What is it? Fucking cool town. Fucking
that sounds familiar.
Toontown.
No, the one where Brad Pitt banged the cartoon chick.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh, dude, he fucked that. He fucked her silly.
I think that was a fever dream. I don't think that happened.
No, it's real. It's real. No, I have to defend my honor.
Papa, that's when you had hay fever for 3 weeks.
Cool World. Cool World came out in 1992.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt, 100%.
I never saw it, but I heard of it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, I mean, he I know Easter's over, but he nails his cartoon bit to the cross, fellas. He just completely, yeah. It's gonna be terrible, right? Like it's gonna be somehow 100%. a more soulless version of Ready Player One, if that's possible.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it! I mean, I know it's the obvious reference, but I was like, oh, this is like a shitty kids version of Ready Player One, which is still like
already.
Yeah. And Iron Giant's in it again too. It's just WB just like advertising themselves.
Can we break it down though? Like if you look at some of these stills, like I don't know if I can pull some up. You see
there are a ton.
You see White Walkers from Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. You see someone dressed up as Arnold's Mr. Freeze with the bald head and the robe. You see somebody as a knockoff Harley Quinn.
Yep. There's a shot towards the end where there's literally both penguins there's the Danny DeVito penguin from Batman and the penguin from the 66 show standing next to each other on the side of the court. Yeah,
and you can see fucking the Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine. The only time I want to see the Mystery Machine these days is if like Velma and Daphne are going down on each other and they're like dummy thick. Right? Like
spread eagle in the back. 100%.
Yeah, Brazzers.com, fellas. It's great.
Like that stuff is cool, but it's like I don't know. What is it going to be? Just a fucking see and say? Like that's more than cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
What if I can find some Rule 34 of that?
You 100% can. But if that's the only value the movie has, it's like, oh, that's a character from that movie. Like, how fucking boring is that? That's what Ready Player One was. And like for the first 25% of the movie, it was cool. But once you catch on to that, it's like, is that all this fucking is? It's just going to be the same thing.
Found it.
What'd you find?
The mother load, fellas.
All right.
Go about your business. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, no. There's a line in here where they call it the server verse, which I can't I hate it with all of my being.
Yeah.
Like every piece of my body. I can't do it. There's also in the very last scene, there's the golden boy dribbling real quick. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. In the background, not only are there the White Walkers, but there are, I think, the guys from Clockwork Orange in the background.
Yeah. I saw someone point that out. Yeah. They're in there.
It's going to be real bad, fellas.
It's like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about it.
They're mad with power, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's just... we talk about fan service all the time, and it's never been more rabid than it is when we see stuff like this, right? Where it doesn't even have any real practical use in the movie other than to remind you of other things you like. It has no place in this universe. It doesn't need to be there, but it's just it's something to make fans cheer, right? Like just like mindless, soulless. Hey, remember this?
Right.
It's member berries, fellas.
Oh, sometimes member berries are fun though.
Not when they're second harvest.
Got him. That was an excellent fucking transition. Okay, so what do we have left? There is one last trailer to talk about. The Loki series has a new trailer that dropped literally today, so we're actually recording a day later than usual. And just a heads up, we'll also be recording a day later than usual next week due to Derek and his lovely pregnant girlfriend having their anniversary. Congratulations ahead of time.
Thank you.
But because of that day lateness, we got this new look at Loki, the Loki trailer for Disney Plus, which is coming out June 11th. A lot of shit coming out this summer. I'm not mad about it. Just gonna be a lot of stuff we gotta watch. How'd you guys feel? Again, I'm gonna put this out there on Front Street. I don't know how good the actual show is gonna be. I like the trailer. I like the premise because it looks fucking weird. And that's the kind of stuff I like. From the first half of the trailer, I got just a little bit of like WandaVision vibes, and obviously not like the sitcom type stuff, but just like there's some weird shit going on. He's in like different worlds. He's hopping around. He's going through different time periods. I think it could be interesting. I don't know. I like Tom Hiddleston. He's charming as fuck. If the day he has his first silver hair come in, he's lining up at the fucking back of the line.
He's gonna be in the tournament. It's going to be a heavy contender.
Yeah, okay. If we would flip a coin for him, but it's always going to come up heads, baby.
God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fucking sleeper hit that one was.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
What I'm saying is he gets free knob slobs for the rest of his days. And he comes around to the DCN glory hole. Derek, how did you feel about the Loki trailer that just dropped?
I thought it was really mediocre. I thought the original one was too, the first one. And now with WandaVision, how that ended and how Falcon and Winter Soldier is going, I have even less faith in it.
Oh no, that is very close to being not good.
I know.
In fact, there might be a little not good right at the bottom.
I got it as close as I could get it.
There might be a little not good at the bottom.
Yeah, just a millimeter. That's okay.
Okay, let me fix that. I'm sorry, fellas. I'm professional.
That's okay. Just send me the link to where you got that original picture from. Just not
Is that better? Is that better?
Yeah, much better. No. Everything. Okay, whatever.
It should be all right.
We'll cop it.
I think it's just going to be. There we go.
Much better.
I like how you didn't do one big censor bar, because then we wouldn't really know that there's two separate holes in one picture.
Yeah.
So that was really like just
yeah. Without the two separate bars, you don't know that she's a lady.
Right.
I'm sure. That doesn't make any sense.
I just wanted you guys to get that little gap between where the obviously gaping butthole is and just that smooth tight puss.
Hey, don't ruin it for me. I don't know the butthole's gaping.
I mean, it's not gaping, but like Porky Pig, definitely that's all folks out of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. Speaking of Space Jam. Oh, shit.
Welcome to the Space Jam. I will say the remake of that Space Jam song in the trailer, wasn't that mad about it. It was okay.
Was it even a remake?
I didn't even
or did
notice
they just
it. I gotta be honest.
Say welcome to the Space Jam over a brand new song?
It was basically just welcome to the Space Jam over a slower beat, but you know, it was enough to tickle my member berries. Derek, mediocre Loki trailer, you were saying?
I just think it's going to be Tom Hiddleston being handsome in different rooms. I think that's what the show's going to be. That's it.
That's fair.
Gold.
Yep.
Gold. Sounds like good fapping material.
I was excited for it, but again, like I'm on superhero overload. I just don't. But
this is a super villain, Scott. It's different.
Yeah, but they still spelled out exactly. They literally spelled out like exactly what they're gonna do. It's gonna be sliders, right? It's gonna be sliders. It's gonna be him. Like they show a visualization as if we're fucking toddlers. Like when you did this one thing, it changed things in the past and the future somehow. It's like
this one line turned into a bunch of lines.
Yeah, it's like that's not how time works. Like if that's how time works, like it would only affect things. How does you? What? All right, fine. I don't care. We're gonna do this. It's gonna be what? 8 episodes? 9 episodes?
I'm not sure how many episodes.
If they're a half hour, okay. I'm not happy about it though. I do love Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah,
but god damn it, can we stop? I just can't wait to unsubscribe from Disney Plus. Like the day I unsubscribe from Disney Plus, we're done watching all this shit we gotta watch, I'm gonna jerk off and come so fucking hard. Look at my bank statement.
Just to see that extra $15 in there.
Yeah. Because I honestly, like, I only watch the one show a week that we're watching for the podcast. Yeah. They have a lot of content on there, but it's all content I've had on other platforms or I've owned physically or digitally for years. There's no reason for me to have Disney Plus. And like, that's the problem. Like, I hate to go to Dennis Miller style rant here, guys, but like, Netflix was the be all end all because it gave you the opportunity to watch all these things and do all these things you wanted to do in a short period of time, right? Mm-hmm. The problem is, like, people saw that model working, and now we have CBS All Access, we have Paramount Plus, we have Disney Plus, we have every single fucking channel saw that model working because of the wealth of content, pulled their content out of Netflix, actively like damaging the Netflix IP, and now, like, because they don't have enough fucking content to do what Netflix was already successfully doing, they are spoon feeding us episodes like they would on fucking cable, which is what we're paying to try to avoid in the fucking first place.
Put on your pirate hats, boys. We're back to that. We're back to 2012.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right.
Feel free to eat that velvet booty. You won't get scurvy. That shit don't spoil, boys. It's been 55 years and that shit still looks not a day over 21.
Choice.
Yeah.
Choice cuts, boys. Choice cuts. Prime rib. I don't know where I'm going with this. All right, last trailer.
Somehow that was grosser than everything I just said. I don't know how you did that.
Choice cuts, boys. The ripping and the tearing. The ripping and the
tearing.
Oh, no. Oh, Jesus.
You were listening.
Do you remember that guy?
Yeah. Have you been, I gotta ask
you.
The
Wild Women.
Yeah, he's talking about with fucking Hedonism 2. He was going to like a fucking swingers thing, but he was going by himself to a fucking swingers campground to try to bang everyone's wife.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Sounds like a good time for me to go take a piss.
All right, how about you need another beer, Scott?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, all right, have fun. I'll do what we did last week. I will chill.
This one's bad, real bad.
This is bad. I mean, drinking a campfire doesn't sound particularly fun.
No, I don't know why they keep trying to make beers spicy. Because this one's not spicy, but it has like that little bit of warmth you get when you eat like crushed red pepper on pizza. That little bit of heat.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
Yeah, it's a bad move.
Gross.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, all
right, boys.
It takes a lot to gross me out. Consider what my background picture is right now. And,
fair.
Yeah.
All right, boys. You know what the deal is. Thanks for listening. We all appreciate it here at the Cynical Nerd. You guys can check us out on Facebook.com/The Cynical Nerd. Excuse me, that was a burp break. You can check us out on Twitter at The Schmeg Nerd. That's SHMEG Nerd. You can tweet at us, #AskTCN if you want to ask us a question. You can also tweet at us, #FuckTCN if we have horribly misconstrued something, said something factually inaccurate, which is probably 90% of the stuff that comes out of our mouths, or have otherwise offended you, which is, just probably par for the course. You can also email us if you prefer that ancient method of communication at questions@thecynicalnerd.com, which I'm actually gonna go log into it and check it right now and see if any of you have sent us messages. And look what we have here. The answer is no. Once again, the answer is no. Listen, if you want to ask us something, feel free to email us. Feel free to tweet at us. Do whatever it is you'd like to do. Maybe you just like listening to us tell silly jokes. Okay, and if that's the case, I'm all right with that too. You come back, you hang out, spend some time with us. I would like to say that we've got several topics in review today to discuss. Hopefully it won't take us, the next 3 years to get over them. Just to recap before we begin, we have Godzilla vs. Kong. I didn't like it. Let's see how they think. Invincible Episode 4. That show's a fucking banger. I love it. Falcon and the Winter Soldier Episode 3. I hate this episode the worst. It's getting worse and worse, boys. I don't know what to do. Primer. I'm so very sorry, Scott and Derek, that I made you watch this film, that I'm going to send Scott $4 through PayPal while he starts talking about it as a joke, because I'm so sorry. And then Scott watched a mystery film, which we all think was The Unholy. Don't say anything else.
Oh, I can't wait to listen back. That's the best part of my work week, like my early work week, is listening back to the pod and seeing what I missed the different times when I get up.
Yeah, it's boring though because I usually just chill. I straight chilling in the name of, you know.
Oh my god.
What was that one?
It's called Birthday Suit.
Oh.
And it's a birthday cake inspired ale, which I know sounds horrific, but it's 7.5%.
It does.
It tastes like a cupcake, bro.
Where's that from? Is that 8 and Sand?
It's Rusty Rail Brewing.
Okay, that's why. Similar name.
Yeah. They are out of, let's see, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. 8 and Sand is super close to both of us.
Yeah, it's literally right like the halfway point between our houses, which means we should probably go there and get a beer soon.
That's true. I forget who I was talking to. It was probably my wife. I was like, it's kind of crazy. We've been doing the podcast for like a little over 6 months, and like I haven't even seen any of these guys in person. And like Scott lives like 9 minutes away from us.
Nah. I mean, I am about to follow the Nick Benson method, get my COVID shots. So hopefully I'll be.
What method is that?
He just went through an actual hospital. Didn't fuck with the state fucking lottery bullshit.
Nice.
Yeah. Since like we both technically work in transportation.
Yeah.
AKA I'm a coke mule. For those of you who don't follow my career on the podcast. At all times, there's at least one balloon of hard drugs in my tight. What's another word for my butt?
I mean, butt
generous,
works.
Balloon knot?
Yeah. My very taut, spacious anus.
Oh, okay. My spacious anus.
That makes no
feels
sense.
like some kind of.
Those two
like
words contradict each other, but
Yeah.
Balloon must have popped, guys. I'm getting a little loopy.
Yeah. I kind of have to shit, but I think I'm going to be okay till we get. I think I can hold it. If not, magic of editing.
If you want to shit, I can just, be a piece of shit.
You want to surprise me?
I mean, kind of.
I'm going to stop my virtual cam so you can't see me walk away.
Mods are gone, boys. Drop them sensor bars. Mods are sleeping.
Mods are sleeping.
See that beehole?
Maybe I will
anus.
do that, actually. Yeah, it's 8:30. We got a little bit of time. I think we should have enough. Some of these reviews I'm going to have like one thing to say about
same.
them.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't wait to talk shit. All right, so stop virtual cam so you can't see my butthole.
Oh, that's no fun.
And I'll be right back.
Wait, why would we need...
So have fun talking shit. I can't hear you right now.
Why are we what?
Why did he turn his cam off? He's just getting up and walking away. I don't get it.
I think because he took his pants off and he doesn't want us to see his butt.
Oh, his little stinker. Yeah.
Which is a shame because I'd like to take a look.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd like to stare into it.
Yeah. Tell it all my hopes and dreams,
Right.
Throw a nickel in there like it's a wishing well.
Yeah. Do you think it's supportive or is it more of like a tough love kind of butt?
I feel like when you stare into it, it's like when you're having a hard day and you feel like you're failing in all the ways you can be a good man. And you look into the eyes of your partner, and you see the love and admiration they have for you. Stop laughing. I don't understand how you can get through all the funny, ridiculous shit you say without cracking a smile. But I say something that's like kind of funny, like not even really yet.
Easy. I don't look at you guys. Seriously, I like look at my wall so I can't see. And when Chris is really laughing, he's completely silent, so I don't have to hear it either.
Yeah.
So it's just my little method,
My favorite thing is watching him take his glasses off and like sob into his hands.
Yeah. And he's beet red. Yeah. Redder than that butthole that's behind that sensor bar there. You're pretty close there. Are they like groomed? Does it smell? Or
yeah. It's from where I'm sitting, I'm downwind, and it's a natural smell. It's not perfumey, right. Nothing dangerous.
Right.
But also like very like I'm getting like a hint of like Dove soap, baby.
Mm-hmm. Well kept.
Yeah. Top of the line beehole, really. Yeah. I mean, you can just see the look on what's her face's face. She's
simply enthralled. Yeah,
she's
happy to be there.
She wishes she had a venom tongue so that thing could already be in there. You know what I mean? She can't wait to get a little bit closer.
So, abrupt conversation change here. What games are you playing here, Scott?
I've been playing a lot of really boring shit, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff that's like, it's fun, but there's so much that goes into it. It's like, obviously, I mean, you played the Forest Bliss before. That's not like a nail biter.
Yeah.
More like a slow burn. You build, you explore. It's a game I think it's best played solo if you're trying to actually get like an immersive, scary experience. Otherwise, you got people who've already played the game coming back with a chainsaw from like 30 feet away, or like a katana, or a bomb made of razor blades, and you're like, well, I made a spear with these 2 sticks. I guess I'll go fuck myself in the ocean. Hunt's actually really cool though. There's been a lot of really dope stuff on sale on Steam this week, man. Like I've saved probably $200, but I've spent $200. Yeah. Shamelessly.
I watched some videos on Hunt after you guys were talking about it, and like preliminarily, I didn't watch multiple videos or anything, but from this one that I watched, it doesn't seem bad, but it doesn't seem great to me. But I'm gonna take you guys' word for it and probably get it next paycheck.
I'm just gonna get it for you right now. Actually,
okay, that works too. Yeah, I was thinking we should do more of those kind of co-op games. Like another 2 I was thinking of is like Far Cry 5, which I never had a chance to play, but is apparently really good.
Same. I only made it like maybe an hour or 2 into that game, and then I gave up.
It's not fun solo, I think, is the reason. It's meant to be played with multiple people. Yeah. And then, what's that? Oh, Veronica agrees. It's best played with a gang.
How many people can you play Far Cry 5 with?
I think 4. Right, babe? 4 people. In Far Cry 5? I think it's 4. Yeah, but then you can like recruit a diabetic bear to fight for you.
I remember I had the dog, and I had a guy who would do flyovers in a plane and light people up for me.
Yeah, I think that's as far as I got too.
Yeah, but like solo, even that wasn't fun. You know what I mean? Like I was just worried about getting the dog killed all the time, so I wouldn't use them. It's like, hang back, bud. I'll take care of this. Yeah.
And then another one was Ghost Recon Forest something or other. Seems kind of cool. Could be cool. I played it back in the day on Xbox, and it was fun. But I don't know. I think we should be dipping our dicks into some stuff like that.
Yeah. Honestly, man, like I'm going to go through all the Resident Evils before 8 comes out, and I was supposed to start it this week. I got to do it tomorrow.
Yeah. 'Cause that's really soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna do all of them, all the major titles in chronological order, which means there'll be parts where I'll be playing Resident Evil 3, have to take a break at the part where Jill falls asleep or gets knocked unconscious, play through all of 2, and then go back to 3 and finish 3.
Chronological. I got you.
Yeah, 100%. I'm kind of iffy about playing Code Veronica. I haven't played Code Veronica since it was on the Dreamcast, dude.
Yeah,
and from what I've heard, they didn't do much besides give it a graphical facelift. So those like controls are gonna be a detriment. Like they're gonna be terrible. It's gonna be fucking awful.
Yeah, there's a weird divide in that shit posting group that you invited me to, where like I feel like most people don't like Code Veronica, but there's a weird percentage of people who it's like their favorite Resident Evil game. I don't know anything about it, so I couldn't say one way or the other, but
it's not great. You know what I mean? Like the thing is, like a lot of people are nostalgic for the old school control schemes, like the tank controls.
Yeah.
Fixed camera angles and tank controls, they worked at that time when you had limited resources. But the thing is, like, they don't. If you're dying because the camera angle changed and your stick's suddenly going the wrong way, that's not.
Hey, he's back.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, so it felt like it was going to be an emergency shit, and then it was not that bad. You know what I mean? Nice. Like it was. You're like, oh, this is going to be a faucet. And then I was like, nothing's really happening. So whatever.
I mean, we all take pre-pod poops and post-pod poops.
Yeah.
How did your first mid-pod poop feel, Chris?
That's the first time I've taken a break during any podcast.
I know. Yeah.
25 episodes in. And really it's because of the dirty, dirty Wendy's that I ate for dinner.
Oh!
Yeah, that'll do it.
I literally asked Derek earlier if he had Wendy's because he was having the squirty bottoms.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to know what kind of debauchery happened while I was gone.
Yeah, you don't.
I instead want to get into our
I buried my face.
Movie reviews.
My face was the only thing blocking that butthole for a minute there. The censor bar was gone. It was just me.
Yeah.
Just nomming on that anime butt.
Hot.
It's not true.
That's a new thumbnail for the episode.
Please no.
All right, look. Godzilla vs. Kong is first. And I'm going to let my opinion be known right out front that I hated this movie. I did not like it in a can. I did not like it on the... I don't know. I'm not going to rhyme anything. Look.
No, I believe you can do this. Keep it going. You got this.
No, I can't. I wrote notes down because and that's how you can tell I either really loved something or I really hated it. And in this case, I really hated it. So before I go into the notes in detail,
all right,
how did you guys feel about it? And prediction. Scott posted something about a movie that was so bad that makes you spiral. Was it Godzilla vs. Kong?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Whenever you guys post shit, when it's like you don't say a specific film, I'm like, oh, that's a fun game. Let me try to figure out what he's talking about. Derek, how did you feel about this film?
It was one of the better dumb fun movies I've ever seen.
Oh, God.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it was like an intelligent or interesting movie, but I liked seeing a big monkey punch a big lizard in the face. I feel like they should have cut out all the human stuff because they were all terrible actors. There we go. Thank you. Perfect. Terrible actors. Yeah. The story was dumb. The one chick just looks like a mix between like a frog and like a blowfish. I can't stand her face. Her face sucks. The guardian of the
okay, yeah.
I don't know her. I don't know any of their names. I know Godzilla and Kong. That's it. I don't know though. I mean, like if it should have just followed Kong around the whole time, and so I could just see him sleeping and scratching his butt and stuff. I would have liked it a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but obviously it was a dumb movie. I mean,
it's real bad.
Hollow Earth. Come on, stop it. What are you doing?
I don't know why I've like zeroed in so much on the human shit because I hated it so much. One of my notes because of what you just because of what you just said. The third note was, Can we just have monster fights and none of the human element? Because the human element is fucking dog shit. And I took the time to bold dog shit. So
I actually made a list too of why Godzilla sucked.
Yes. Nice. So Scott, now that I know how you feel, just what did you hate? What really ticked you off?
All right. No, I have a 3-part list here. Okay. We're going to break it down.
Okay.
Yeah. First off, it was predictable. The second we saw this technology company, you knew what the entire plot of the movie was going to be.
You knew it was Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, you knew that they were going to eventually unite to fight Mechagodzilla. And it was like, once you know that, why am I because like the thing is there was so much action that it all felt underwhelming to me. There was nothing but action, and then you'd have like a little tiny human set piece that didn't make any sense. What's a Millie Bobby Jean?
Millie Bobby Brown.
Millie Bobby Joe.
Say that 10 times fast.
I can't. There's no fun. I can't say it once and you just said it.
Millie Bobby Brown.
It felt like she was just there because she was contractually obligated to be from the last one, right? Like there was no real reason for her to be there. Visually, like again, like it was just there was so much going on that it was overwhelming. And after a while, it was just exhausting to watch. It wasn't even like what are we operating with Halo 3 physics in this fucking movie, for Christ fucking sake? It was ridiculous. Yeah. And also, like, if you're gonna try to zone in on the human element and like make that be a factor in a movie like this giant action set piece movie, why the fuck are they knocking down entire buildings full of people and at the end all is well is good? It's not in any way like they don't present it as a tragedy or like a natural disaster or anything where it has any kind of real world ramifications. But like hundreds of thousands of people are dead. This was like 25 9/11s, guys. This is a lot of 9/11s. And like
talk about vindicating Man of Steel. Like this movie killed so many fucking people.
Yeah. And it's just like it felt like they tried to make it. Why the fuck do we care about this one group of people if we don't care about these thousands of other people? Like they don't even bother to show people trying to run from the monsters. People are just like ants during these scenes. Little CGI ants that get snuffed out by the hundreds. And I didn't care about those little CGI people. I didn't care about Kong. I didn't care about their Hollow Earth bullshit. If I want to hear about Hollow Earth, I'd go hang out at the old apartment with Mahoney.
Oh my god, dude, that's what I thought of too. That's the same fucking thing I thought of. That Hollow Earth manifesto that he had. Oh my god. I didn't know you were there for that. Holy shit.
Oh, dude, I'll never forget that. That haunts me. What did you think?
Hollow Earth, there's an actual cult of people in the world, just for the listeners to understand. Yeah. There's an actual cult of people in the world who think that the Earth is hollow, and that like in the center of this hollow Earth is all this magical energy. Some of them are so crazy and on so many drugs that they claim to have been to the hollow Earth. They look at every song, every like line from every famous movie, and like extrapolate something from it. Like, oh, they're talking about the hollow Earth. It's a real thing. Look it up. It's fucking weird. And we had a friend who like got sucked into that cult.
That's really strange. Speaking of Hollow Earth, did you watch the Flat Earth documentary?
I watched about half of it last night and I had to go to bed.
Did you like it?
I did. from what I saw.
It's also.
Did you get to the scene where they went? Did you get to the scene where they went to like the Airspace Museum in Washington D.C.?
No, I didn't get that far.
God, don't spoil it.
You know the part I'm talking about, right, Chris?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's really good.
It's fucking hilarious.
You gotta finish it.
Yeah. Did you get to How to Make a Poop Sandwich Volume 4?
No. I got to the part where the dude was bouncing ping pong balls on mallets and talking about flat Earth, and I was like, "Yep, that's how I pictured you. I knew exactly what you looked like and what you were doing with your hands before it even showed you." Fucking what's
not everything
on?
he's doing with his hands.
Yeah.
So some of my notes. I actually
also
quoted
strangling
something
women in the park with those hands. Fucking incel prick piece of shit.
I actually quoted somebody. I don't remember who said it. It might have been Millie Bobby Brown, but the line is, "Feel free to be impressed." I don't remember who said it, but I literally wrote that down, quoted it, said "fucking yuck." I hate that.
I wish I could have been impressed by anything in this fucking movie.
Yeah. Burn.
Burn. I was literally defending this movie 2 weeks ago, saying that like all it had to be was a dumb, fun action movie, and it wasn't fun at all. It felt like homework. It felt like everything, like it was literally just like watching them soullessly and mindlessly throw each other through buildings and break shit and kill people by the hundreds until the inevitable team up happened, and then I could jerk off and go to sleep. That's what this movie was to me.
Did you jerk off? Did you jerk off to the team up or after the movie?
After the movie was over.
How was it? Was it a good sesh?
No.
Okay.
I was real mad. I was real mad about what I just
One of the
watched,
obligatory ones. You have to get it out before you go to sleep. Yeah, those are
well, God, I guess I'll get this over with you, little dickhead. Literally,
little dinker.
Do you guys think I talk about? Do you guys think I talk about jerking off too much on the podcast? You think it's?
I feel like it's not enough. I feel like we should double down on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Triple down even. The movie, like, and I know it's a movie, but like validating this dude who's got nothing but horrifying conspiracy theories that works in this company. They do the entire film. They're just validating this idea of like, no, go support conspiracy theories and make a podcast, and eventually you'll be right because I get it's fantasy, but something about that really fucking annoyed me.
It's also just bad writing because their entire subplot didn't change a fucking thing. That's true. They just bear witness to the same events everyone else did from a more dangerous perspective every time. They didn't actively do anything to help anybody for the entire fucking movie. All they did was stress her fucking dad out, and then this weird incel...
Poor guy.
Right? Well, I mean, her dad was also kind of a piece of shit, right? Like, he's the kind of,
a little bit.
He's the kind of dad who wakes up and, like, you ask him what's breakfast, like, there's Eggos in the fridge, bitch. And he, like, leaves. You know what I mean? Like... And I know her mom's dead. But, I think it's safe to say if she could trade her dad for her mom back, she would have done it, right?
Who wouldn't? Am I right?
That guy was a bad father. He was a terrible father.
Absentee, pretty much.
Yeah, but also like you were saying, like the one character whose name I forget because every character in this movie that wasn't a giant CGI monster was entirely forgettable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like it's just why did we go on that journey with him? What was the fucking point of that? The only people whose story mattered were people that were with Kong the entire time, and even there's like I even didn't care. I didn't care about hot vampire guy. Didn't care.
Hot vampire guy.
Yeah, that's I
Skarsgård. One of the Skarsgårds. I refuse
to learn his name. It sounds like something from Skyrim, but he's just a hot vampire forever. You're a hot vampire.
Skarsgård is a city in Skyrim. I was just fucking with you.
Is it really?
No, absolutely serious. His real name is Alexander, maybe Skarsgård? It is Skarsgård, though.
Yeah.
You sure it's not Alexander Whiterun?
Skarsgård. It's the brother of the guy that played
Pennywise.
Yeah.
We all know who got the looks in that family, am I right? Jesus fucking Christ.
Not the guy that played Pennywise. So my notes then jump ahead to when Kong is on the aircraft carrier. And look, I'm going to make some particular nitpicks about the storyline, and I know that that's unfair because the movie is not supposed to be justifying itself to anybody besides popcorn people who want to watch a fight. I get it. They go out of their way to say Kong is 80 or 85% sedated on the battle cruiser, and then Godzilla shows up and he's just not anymore. Like he's like totally fine. He can't even pull himself out of chains, but like as soon as Godzilla shows up,
Kong was fighting 85% sedated. He had that Andre the Giant strength, bro. Andre the Giant was drunk for like 95% of his wrestling matches.
I mean, if we want to nitpick, even when you're sedated, like a human in real life, when you get like an operation, once they take the medicine away from you, you're arousable within like 2 minutes. It's not like you're out for hours or something. Like you have to have a constant stream of that like Diprovan or whatever it is going into you to like maintain that unconsciousness.
If I'm gonna nitpick, I will take the nitpick retort. So I'll allow it.
I hate to defend that, but
no, it's fine. You're fine. This is not a nitpick of like any particular logic so much as that at one point during the final fight in Hong Kong, I think it is, I literally thought, wow, this fight scene was designed for a Universal theme park ride to come out based on it.
Martin Scorsese was jerking off watching this, like, I was right.
There's the announcer coming up to a press release.
What was our Martin Scorsese voice again? We had it down like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, I don't know. Probably I don't even remember
that. They make a reference to coding, and the kid says, "I only ever learned HTML," and I was like, "What? Kids don't learn that language anymore. I learned it when I was a kid in high school." Again, small nitpick. It bothered me. And last but not least, this is the actual technical nitpick. When Mechagodzilla comes out, right, the whole thing is they lose control of him, right? Like the bond's broken. They can't control him. They can't do anything to him. He's on his own. Fuck it off. And then somehow they use controls to short out and disable his tail.
Right.
To stop it from killing Kong. And I was like, huh?
Well, with the classic pour the coffee all over the terminal move.
It,
yeah. You know, that tracks.
Cause I forgot about that, and I hate it even more now.
My whole... They basically just did what Pacific Rim did with the Kaiju, like having like somebody use part of the brain to control them, right? Like wasn't that the whole plot of Pacific Rim 2?
Basically.
Yeah, they basically just did Pacific Rim 2, but they borrowed from a movie that was inspired originally by the old Godzilla movies. It's just like it's just that what is it? A bore. What's it called when the snake's eating its own tail?
Ouroboros or something.
Yeah, it's just that, but with a giant veiny dick. It's just a
you
giant.
You guys all know what the fuck we're talking about.
It's just a giant dick with lips where its ball should be, and it's always sucking its own self. That's what it is. Like that's the episode image. Is just a giant mouth with a dick.
No.
Yeah. It's just never ending.
The never ending sucking its own self. That's
the never ending big suck.
We already had a pixelated penis in the last thumbnail. I can't do it. Can't do two.
That was great. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it really was. You're welcome. Thank you. I was very proud of that. It only took me 5 minutes to throw together because I was so overzealous about it.
I mean, I'm just saying, boys. Like we could very easily just remove me from this equation. We have our image for the episode here.
I'm using that image 100%. 100%. Okay, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I didn't like it. Derek, I'm glad you found some enjoyment out of it. I really am. I'm usually not as cynical as I am about it this time. I could not find anything about it that I liked. Fair play. The plotting when there's not monsters involved was so shitty, and I didn't care about anybody even when they were punching each other.
The giant axe was so stupid. Like, these are two ancient alien races that fought forever in the Earth's core, but now there's only one of each left. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's weird.
I prefer the origin story that Godzilla was an iguana on a nuclear test site from the Matthew Broderick bullshit. Give me that instead of this. Ugh.
Yeah, that's the original one too, right? Like,
I don't know. I feel like
pretty sure he was a result of like being near.
But I don't think he was an iguana. But I think he was a result of nuclear testing. But he wasn't canonically an iguana in that one.
Bikini Atoll, I think actually. Bikini Atoll experiments. Okay, can we move on, please?
Yes,
Scott. I know that you said you watched everything on the docket. Does that mean you watched all the Invincible episodes?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Oh, I don't like the way you said that because I have to tell you something. I continue to love the show, and I think episode 4 was great too. Scott, how much did you dislike it?
I liked episode 2 probably the most out of any of them I've seen so far. I thought it was really cool the way they played with the time in that and had the same invaders coming back again and again and again.
Remember I mentioned something about a cool recurring villain plot device? Yeah.
That was cool to like watch him kind of learn through having similar fights with the same foe. Like I thought episodes 2 and 3 were really well done. Episode 4 for me just didn't hit.
No?
It felt like it was a burner episode kind of like this little side plot where like they still have a few scenes throughout the episode that are building that greater arc, like showing Robot pulling some strings behind the scenes. Obviously showing that alien race that was on Mars has now gained sentience. and is now a looming threat.
Yeah, there's a lot of threads going around.
Yeah. Also, I mean, we also have the twin. Like, I think one of my favorite scenes in this episode so far is the breakout sequence where the blue guy and his clone.
Oh, the clones. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Blue Grimace and his brother are breaking out of prison, and he literally just picks up his brother and like sacrifices him to this outer perimeter defense weapon, and like
it's great,
and literally just says, "I'll clone you again." You know, at that point, it doesn't matter which one of them was the clone, even though it's been an arc throughout the entire thing so far. Now they're either both clones or they fucking care. It doesn't matter. But
I'm very happy to hear you talking about it even slightly excitedly.
I like those arcs, but I thought that like episode 4 was just like
it was definitely like I disagree with you. I usually hate when shows superhero movies or shows do the thing where they're like show the aspect where they're still trying to be who they are in their normal life. I always think that that's jarring and forced 99% of the time. I actually like it in the show. Like he has the aspect of he has the crush on the one chick who's not a superhero and the one chick who is, and he's kind of looking to his parents and the difficulties in their relationship because one is a superhero and one is, one isn't. This is like one of the only times that I actually like those episodes, but I agree that it was a little weird to have the first 3 episodes be really heavy on showing sort of the overarching stuff. And then really focus on the like menial day-to-day stuff. I still liked it, but I get what you're saying though.
The whole Mars thing to me just felt like they needed to do something to give us a break from all that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It just felt like an intentional like here's what we'll give them a little breather episode. And like the thing is, I don't want that. I don't need that. Like that's not. I mean, like episodes like that, I think are just they're always the weakest of the season. Like It'd be one thing if he went to Mars with other characters we had been introduced to in the show so far, and we gave a fuck about anybody else on that planet besides him. But like the astronauts were like static in the background, right? The alien race was there for all of 3 minutes of screen time. He literally went there for like 2 scenes and then came back. So it served no purpose other than to burn 25 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
And that was just frustrating. I was like, what the fuck? Like that was the first time it felt like homework.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say that I think the purpose of that thing was to show his character. Like his father might be doing some dubious shit, but like he's got a good heart. He chooses the mission over this girl he's trying to hook up with. But I do agree. I think that whereas we had a lot kind of like the first episode was a bit of a slow burn in the beginning because they're establishing the world, and then the ending is like, oh shit, that was, by the way, fantastic scene once again.
Yeah.
And then 2 and 3 really kind of there's a good like pacing where it feels like, okay, learning about your powers. Okay, some weird shit going on in the background, like robots doing some creepy shit. Yeah. They're replacing the Guardians who died. There's a lot of stuff happening in a lot of different areas of the map. The Detective Darkblood is a cool like Hellboy-esque thing going on.
So I love that. I love that like, they see their breath whenever he's around. That's how like
that's Clancy Brown, by the way. Clancy Brown does his voice.
No shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think part of the reason I've enjoyed this show so much is that obviously I like superhero shit, but I don't know anything about the series. I knew what it was, but I didn't read anything about it. I don't know where the series goes in the comic books. And for me, like finding out what they're going to do with these interesting characters who any one of them could die because none of them are Superman. None of them are big names.
Yeah.
It just makes it feel... I don't know. I'm really intrigued. I want to see where it goes. And also, Blue Grimace building his facility to reclone himself to run the jewels. Come on, let's fucking go. I was like, is that Run the Jewels?
I gotta be honest,
man. The third time Run the Jewels has been in the show. I think they showed up 1 or 2 other times too.
I gotta be honest. I hated the first episode so much because it was introducing all these characters that felt like weak DC clones or Marvel clones. Mm-hmm. And I hated it every second of it. I'm like, not another one of these. Like, I could tolerate it on The Boys because The Boys has such a great tongue-in-cheek style of humor. I don't mind that they emulate these other heroes that we're all familiar with. And like the last 10 minutes of the first episode, like I mean, they subverted expectations in the perfect way for me.
Yeah.
Right.
But like the episode 2 and 3 did a lot of world building, got me really on board, excited with the momentum of this new team they're building to replace the old heroes that died. And it's more like I was so invested by the end of episode 3 that I was pissed that episode 4 didn't continue that momentum. That's honestly what it was for me, because like I didn't expect to give a fuck, but I did, and I was like, I watched episode 2 begrudgingly. By the end of episode 2, I was like, all right, fuck yeah, and I watched episode 3 immediately after that, And then like when I saw what episode 4 was, I took a break and came back to it like a day or two later. That one I was like, all right, I guess I'll watch this before I have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fine. There's still plenty of cool shit that happens, but I can totally see your point. And I actually rewatched 4 again last night because I've been enjoying the show so much. And I'm really looking forward to seeing like where it goes. There's a lot of plot threads. I don't even have an inkling. Obviously, I don't know what Omni-Man's deal is. I have a sneaking suspicion that the Viltrumites, his race or whatever, is secretly like Hitler-esque.
They're
like
conquerors. That's what
I think his dad.
too.
Yeah, I think his dad lied to him. I think they don't go to help people. They go to make them better.
Yeah.
And that's going to be like some big turn. He's going to be like the Guardians were getting in my way or something. They were a threat. And that's fine, whatever. But how they get there is really important, and it's cool to watch. Like, it's cool to watch Omni-Man. J.K. Simmons doing a fantastic job, by the way. It's cool to watch him like twist things like subtly, like to his wife. She's like, "You've been lying to me," and he's like, "Well, I'm scared because the Guardians just died, and they think it's my fault, and now my son has powers, and he's, you guys are exposed, and I never thought I'd have a family." And I'm like, "You sneaky, slimy motherfucker."
But that's what I think that's going to get really interesting, because the thing that I'm trying to figure out, especially with the themes that they're building of like the difficulties that they have as being a superpowered and non-superpowered relationship, is like, I would found myself wondering in that episode, like, well, if she did really find out what happened to the Guardians of the Globe or whatever they're called, and really press him about it, would he kill her so that she wouldn't tell Mark? Or like, is it really like his family? He does make an exception for them, and he does love them, and he's just hiding it from her because he's trying to protect her. I think he does love them. I think that's part of that emotional complexity of the characters. That they are his family. I think he does love his wife and his son. I think he does too. I don't think he's faking like love for his wife, but I wonder if he would 86 her just to if she finds out what's going on. I don't think he would do it to Mark because he's half Viltrumite, but I don't know.
I actually think that he might have been reticent about his son getting powers because he's like, shit, what if he doesn't agree with me?
Well, but also if we're taking that road where he's like, they're conquerors, they like they're here to like correct us or whatever the fuck. I mean, he could be kind of upset that his son's a half-blood, right? Like we've seen that kind of arc play out in like Harry Potter.
That's true.
With the mudbloods and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, he could be space Nazi. He could be super, super spacist.
Yeah.
When we all saw what he did at the end of episode 2, man. Like, granted, they were invading and hurting people, on our planet, but he went to their planet and literally scorched the.
Oh, that was great. I forgot about
genocide.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was like that was overkill. Like, can you imagine if any active military force, if the populace, the citizen populace, was held responsible in the same way? Like, America would be a giant scorching crater, boys.
Yeah.
Well, that was, I don't know if I'm like creating a memory here, so tell me. Didn't they surrender to him too? They were like, all right, I'm sorry, we'll never fuck with you again. And he was like, yeah, you won't. And then. Yeah. Is that what happened? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, then he flew through buildings. And I hate to say it again, guys, but it was at least 50 9/11s. It was at least 50.
There was a lot of death.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw like 150 9/11s across all we're reviewing here. It was really a lot to relive.
It was unsettling, boys. It was haunting.
Yeah,
it was a lot. I'm glad that you caught up, and I'm glad that you, latest episode aside, been pretty much enjoying it. I've been looking forward to it a lot. I can't wait for next week's episode to see what's going on. Also, I gotta say that monster chick has a really cool gimmick where the whole every time she uses her power, she ages backwards.
Younger,
but she's actually 25. She's like the only people who date me are pedophiles or fucking.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's gross. Plus that Rex guy, I was kind of like eyeing her up. I was like, yeah, that's fucking disgusting, bro.
The guy who voice acts him is incredible. He was on.
It's the guy from
the League,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, he's on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the League.
The crazy guy, yeah.
That's the thing that's amazing about the show is every scene. They have the Amazon X-ray thing. Any scene, you can pause it, and it's like huge names are voice acting. It's ridiculous. Literally every single scene.
Yeah,
that's true. I do really like that feature of Prime. I don't think about it enough, and then when I'm watching something, I'm like, who's that? And I hit pause, and I'm like, oh yeah, right. That's who exactly it fucking is. Okay. Any last thoughts on Invincible before we move on?
I love it.
No?
Steven Yeun is a national treasure, and we have to protect him at all costs.
Absolutely. Mark Grayson and the Half-Blood Prince. It's the name of the next book series.
I'm sorry, what?
Mark Grayson and that you said the Half-Blood. I waited too long to say it.
Okay.
Really, is what the problem is.
I don't know Harry Potter well enough to know that that's a book title, right?
Yes, it is. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Anyway, so next up is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and continuing in the tradition of me just voicing my opinion before I let either of you two speak, I'm going to do it again with this one.
Oh.
Tell you that I hated this episode. More than the first two. It's officially put me on fuck this train with Derek and Scott. I don't like this show anymore. I don't think there's any more redeeming qualities. Sure, it could surprise me towards the end. I'm not writing it off completely.
Welcome to the fuck this train, Chris. The open bar is in the caboose.
Yeah,
as well as are both your best buds. There's room for one more in here. It's a little tight.
I'm always in a caboose,
but the heat's on. It's nice and toasty warm in here. Get on in this caboose with us.
Throw me a hat, choo-choo. I'm ready to pull out of the fucking station.
Yeah.
There's so many bad things about this episode.
The fuck this train will run it. Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Don't do it. Before I dive into what exactly made me hate this episode so much, let me just say, for everyone who might not have seen it yet, if you haven't seen it yet, never mind. We spoil everything all the time. If you're listening at episode 25, you know that that's all we fucking do. We talk about the latest shit. Because we're, I don't know, hip.
Oh, God.
We're staying young, episode, am I right?
Yeah, we all need to drink paint thinner and commit ritual suicide live on the podcast because of that now, Chris.
You're welcome.
What's it called when you stab yourself in your own stomach in Japanese? Yeah, we all need to get seppuku.
Yeah. I feel like Chris has to go first, though, and I'll see how I feel afterwards.
Jesus Christ!
All right, so we're halfway through the series, right? This is the trolley scenario, right? Like the first three episodes have been so bad. Would it be unfair to the people listening to our podcast if we stop the trolley now before we watch the other 3 episodes of this shit show?
I mean, I'm gonna finish it only because I feel like I have to know at least what they're doing. I like the new Captain America angle, and that's the only reason I want to see it through. So if he dies in the next episode, maybe I'll stop. Who knows?
I mean, I know we only have 3 episodes left, but like this episode was literally just like Cyberpunk 2077, right? Like they just went to this like weird glowy
Madripoor. It was kind of had that feel. Yeah, I can get down with that. It also had some of the worst character decisions I've ever seen in Marvel, like even against the grain of their own character building. So I that's what I want to talk about a little bit.
Please go ahead. I'm real
Zemo was so bad that it made Agatha look good in WandaVision.
No, I didn't even hate Zemo.
Oh, I thought he was awful.
I hated Zemo.
Didn't even hate him.
He put his mask on to shoot people, then took it back off. Like, why?
I know.
Is it easier for you to see through your fucking giant wool mask?
The same thing. He put the mask on. Now he's doing flips and shooting people. It's like, wait, what? Is that your superpower? You put on a fucking mask?
Yeah.
Like, it was so
but he's shy. It gives him confidence.
But also, like... It's such a bad costume. Like it's not as bad as the Taskmaster Extreme Sports Mountain Dew helmet thing he's got going on, but it's
Trials.
He looks like one of the kids from fucking Bebe's Kids or Fat Albert, right? They're the one who had like the giant hat that came down over his nose and his eye holes.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. Look. So
I would rather watch Kenan Thompson blow Dwayne The Rock Johnson than watch the rest of this series.
I mean, I think we'd all want to watch that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Kenan would be very expressive in the face.
Before I dive into my specific annoyances, I assume you also could not stand this episode.
I thought it was terrible. I actually thought that this was the least bad one, though. Like, honestly.
Really?
But it was still fucking awful. Yeah, the whole scene where they go and his name is like Smiling Tiger, like everything about that was just like, what are you guys doing? Like, what is the fucking point of this? And then they, the part where they go to the lab, they talk to the scientist guy who's all like ratty and wiry, just the worst casting you could ever do in the world. And all the superpowered people are in there with this guy, and the just normal chick is outside fighting off like 20 guys. I was like, you guys really didn't think this through. It made no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, so I will say decent choreography in her fight. It was not super crazy cut that I couldn't see where the action was going. That being said, my problems mostly stem around character decisions and how they're not explained rationally in any capacity. I counted. Not counted. I watched the timer. Bucky Within 10 minutes of the episode, Bucky decides that he wants to break out one of his arch nemeses who tried to control his brain and make him framed him for bombing the UN and killing King T'Chaka. Within 10 minutes of the episode.
He did that shit, but he was...
Right. Within 10 minutes, he's breaking this guy out of prison saying, there's no other way. You haven't even fucking tried. You've tried nothing. You go straight for the worst dude you can think of and you pull his ass out of prison. I didn't hate Daniel Bruhl as Zemo. I didn't. I mean, yeah, he's stupid, but he's a villain. He's supposed to be a little cheesy and stupid. I mean, the mask thing, right, I'll grant that was horrifically stupid, but his whole, like, I don't like superheroes, they just shouldn't exist. He was true to that, right? He's all the scientist.
Then why did he put his mask on to do a front flip, Chris? He's contradicting himself. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
He's got performance anxiety and he's afraid to do it in front of people. Okay? That's what I'm headcanon going with. Sharon Carter, what the fuck was her character? One, it's unthinkable that Cap, Falcon, Black Widow, they all were off the grid, right? Because they were shunned by the government, including Sharon Carter, and he knows she's off the grid because she stole his fucking shield and gear, gave it to him. And he doesn't give a shit about her. He doesn't contact her in the years he's in solitude. He doesn't make sure she's okay. He's letting her fend for herself. And then because she's fending for herself, she turns into like some underground art dealer. Like, what the fuck was that? It was so bad. I gotta stop talking so loudly because I'm sure my wife's putting my son to bed right now. And I hated every second of it. Hated it. I was like, ooh, this is so fucking stupid. Everything. Bucky's decision to break out Baron Zemo, who, by the way, I know his name's always had Baron in it, but there was zero hints that he was rich in Civil War. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he's rich for the purposes of the
how the fuck do you think he pulled off all the shit he pulled off, man?
I don't know. I feel exasperated.
How do you think he afforded those front flip lessons?
Those aren't cheap, man.
No.
He was doing them in prison.
Yeah, I mean, like they don't let you free run in prison, man.
Just in solitary,
you can't run around on the roof in prison. All I can say is, Chris, one day you're going to be dead. One day you're going to die.
Thanks.
Your son is going to look back at the wealth of content you created. He's going to get to this episode. He's going to hear the rant you just went on. He's going to say, "My father was a brilliant man. I loved him so much."
Mm-hmm.
I love you too, buddy.
Yeah.
And then he's going to dump your fucking ashes into the Grand Canyon. Boom, gone. You get in his car and just go home.
Yeah, there's no real reason why he listened to 25 episodes of our podcast before dumping my ashes, but I appreciate the dramatic tension.
All right, well,
The
I don't know if it takes 50 hours to cremate somebody, but I'm just picturing your son marathoning 50 hours with bloodshot eyes. like a detective on like an HBO original series, just going
Hopefully not True Detective with some weird shit in there.
No, I mean, well, season 1 was dope, and season 2 it was kind of.
Unless he gets to go hook up with Alexandra Daddario.
Oh yeah, she's got a set. Mm-hmm.
I want that for your son. I do. I want that for all of us.
Same.
Yeah, I do.
We all
too.
deserve that.
Really, we all do. Yeah, I don't know. I the way that they just structured this episode, I hated it.
Speaking of structures, can we talk about how there was a highly flammable lab built out of shipping containers with like inside like a seamless transition to like a high-tech Stark quick caliber lab, but it was built out of shipping containers? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
First of all, let's pretend that this is a completely isolated dock where the only people who are in and out of this place are people who work for the marina. They're a bunch of fucking dumb waterhead sons of bitches. They're gonna move the wrong fucking cargo container by accident eventually and just scissor this guy in half while he's working on something. It's a net. He was gonna die no matter what he did, because it was a really shitty place to have a science lab or a meth lab, whatever the fuck he was doing.
Yeah. Obviously. I will say, the one little tidbit that I thought was even a little interesting was the little quick history lesson he gave about how he ended up working for this crime lord, the power broker, which don't get me fucking started on how stupid that concept is. But the idea of like every government was kind of working on a super soldier serum, and then he disappeared in the blip. I know the blip is gonna become a crutch, but for now, I'm enjoying the little, well, when I blip back, CIA canceled it and didn't want any of my research, and this, what was I supposed to do? Like, this is my life's work. I thought that was a cool little factoid, you know?
I think the blip is the dumbest thing Marvel has ever done, if I'm being honest. Like I get Tony Stark didn't want his daughter to not exist, but like because of that, we have all these weird fucking stupid inconsistencies. Like first and foremost, like we're not following Gwyneth Paltrow and his daughter at this point. They're not going to serve any greater purpose other than a cameo here and there for the next 5 to 10 years, probably. If they do Young Avengers, I know she'll be in the Young Avengers, but that's what 5-10 years out.
Yeah. And Stark never sees his daughter after they blip everyone back, so he could have died not even knowing that she disappeared again. He'd have been fine.
Well, he was just like, nothing changes. I get to keep all the shit I want, but also everyone comes back. Like, fucking, it's so dumb. Like, it's the 5-year gap. I think is really, it's going to be what they use to tell all their stories for the next 5 years. And so in a way, we're in the same limbo that all those people who disappeared for 5 years are in, because we're going to have predictable, bland stories for 5 years fucking straight. And there's nothing we can do to change it. We just got to wait until things get back to normal.
I hope they just look. I know it's not true.
I'd rather have your son toss your ashes into my mouth instead of the Grand Canyon than they keep watching these awful predictable Marvel
T-shirt
stories.
launcher too.
Yeah. I'm sorry. This is so dark. I'm so sorry.
Only way you're gonna get a taste of me, baby. Okay. We're not running out of time, but we're running low. So, yeah. Falcon and Winter Soldier was shit. We're gonna talk about my movie pick next, which is Primer. And before we begin, I just want to say, give me 2 seconds. Scott, I just sent you $4 over PayPal that says I'm sorry to return your rental cost, because I also rewatched this film to make sure that I was fresh in my mind for you boys.
Okay, all right.
And look,
you really did just PayPal me $4.
I know I wasn't doing that for the gag. I know Cheap Trick. I know that when I first saw this movie, and probably I think it was like 2007, the technical jargon was fine and did not bother me. And I know that I mostly understood what happened and looked up a little bit of the timeline just to see like someone actually go, oh, this, and then I went back and went, oh yeah, you're right, that's cool. But the movie was just way lower budget than I remember, and it was tough to get through a lot of it, especially when they just start doing technical jargon. Don't get me wrong, I still think, like, at the really base, if you can scrub away, like, I don't know, 80% of this technical jargon, the stupid shit, there's a semi-interesting story about two friends who discover this and kind of turn on each other, and then funky time travel. And I will also say, it's a little bit of a precursor to the Prestige and how the Prestige handled time travel. I'd be willing to bet that they saw this small film and said, oh, making a clone of yourself, that's interesting. Anyway, Scott, how'd you feel about it?
I didn't mind the technical jargon. I thought it was cool the way that they had them sort of stumble upon this while they were trying to basically like invent an anti-gravity device, right? To help move large objects effortlessly was what I thought the initial intention was.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool to watch them come up with it, figure out what it did. That whole process, it felt like a slow burn, and they keep hinting at this scenario where they stop an active shooter. So the whole movie, I'm waiting for that to play out. Like I'm seeing all this tension build. I'm seeing them like, like his father-in-law ends up going through the machine somehow, and then they both get paranoid over who told him about the machine, how he knew about it,
and when.
And how he was able to go so far back. And how far back did he go? He didn't use the machine right. He was in a coma. To me, I liked it right up until the payoff wasn't there. When we get to that scene where they're at the party and they've removed the shotgun shells from the shotgun and the active shooter's coming in, the ex-boyfriend or whatever the fuck, or stalker, whatever you want to call him, is in the party, and then they just fade to black. I was like, you motherfucker. I've been waiting 2 hours to see all this shit go down, basically, to see like what's going to happen. What are the repercussions of them fucking with time going to be to this extent? And it's just like the cliffhanger ending only pays off if something else follows. You know, if there was more to the story and they made a sequel, but you can't make a sequel to a movie like this without it just being a giant convoluted mess.
It'd honestly be way too fucking hard, I think, from a storyline perspective, because it gets so convoluted at a certain point. You're like, oh, future Abe gave details to past Abe about what's going on so that he would, and it's like, oh, okay, you're getting a little too in the weeds here.
The thing that's crazy to me is that they weren't sleeping while they were in the time machine. While they were going back through time, they weren't sleeping. So they're just up for like 48 hours at a time. They're like so tired they have to listen to recordings of all the conversations they had that day so they can just respond to them.
Yeah.
Like it's that to me was the weirdest part, is that for some reason they weren't the way they travel through time made more sense than I've seen in any other movie. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it followed its rules better than 90% of time travel movies do.
And that was really when I said that, when I recommended the movie, like I remembered thinking that was like the neatest, like down to earth, like time travel type plot that I could think of.
Yeah.
Ever seen. You know, like you said, they followed their rules.
Yeah, but also if you were going to invent time travel, it wouldn't be like having like a fucking smart car in 2022, right? Or 2021. You'd start out with those fucking like steam, like the steam powered vehicle equivalent of what we have in modern vehicles today, which means you would have to literally manually travel back that time in physical time. You wouldn't be able to just snap it. So it was kind of cool to see them stumble upon it. And I thought it was a really interesting concept. I just wasn't a big fan of the ending. I felt like it had all this build up and all this potential, and it started getting really complicated to the point where I had to like kind of like pause the movie and Google to make sure I was like, I was making sure I was at the right, like, all right, we're on the same page. But it just, the third act, man, just dropped the ball for me. I was really bummed about it. I really liked up to that point.
Cool. One thing that bothered me before Garrett goes is that obviously it's low budget. I get that, but you can tell that everything's ADR'd. Like everything is ADR'd. Like they just recorded it, wiped the audio, and then went in the studio because it's very noticeable in the early scenes, and then I think your brain gets used to it. But in the early, like in the house discussing the concepts of like what they're trying to build, you can see that they're like talking, and you're like, that doesn't sound natural. Doesn't sound like it's coming from a mic right now.
Right.
But Derek, how did you feel about Primer?
So, first of all, I remember a lot of people actually made a big deal about this movie back in the day, because I remember hearing about it on like Reddit or something, and everybody really liked it, and I knew it was a low budget thing going into it. I remember trying to watch it a couple times back in the day, and I could just never, I always turned it off, and I couldn't remember why. And within 10 minutes, I remembered why I always turned it off back in the day. And that's because everybody talks at the same fucking time, to the point where like I had to put subtitles on to see like their name and who was saying what, because they were just like one person. I get it's like they're trying to make it seem more natural, like people interrupt each other all the time, but it was like ridiculous. I don't know, like how can you follow, especially they're talking about all this, like none of it's actual really how to build a time machine, right? But you want to have some semblance of what they're talking about and why they're doing this that way and that this way. And it's just like impossible to decipher. I don't know. I had to have subtitles on. Anyway, I'm just going to say this. I hated every moment of this movie. I hated every moment of this movie. I can understand like what they were doing. And I think I know why people liked it back in the day. I think that there's like fantastical time travel, like Back to the Future, where it's just like, oh, the flux capacitor, and now you're there, and like that's fun. Right. But then there's like logistical time travel, which is becoming more popular now. So I think why people liked it back in the day is because of the things you said. Like, it makes sense that their time is still passing normally relative to them, but they're just moving backwards through time. If you want to go back 2 days, you have to sit there for 2 days in order to, but you've still aged 2 days. You're just also in 2 days prior.
Right.
I think that the reason I couldn't even appreciate that aspect of it is that since this movie has come out, other things have done that sort of logistical time travel so much better. And so it was just like a slog for me. And same thing, everything you guys said, there was no real payoff. I will admit I had trouble like following it, but I also had trouble paying attention to it because nothing, like, it just didn't grab me. Like, I just didn't want to, like, and I kept saying the whole time, when I'm done, I'm going to go on Google and I'm going to look up an explanation. And when it was done, I was like, I actually don't care. Like, I don't really need to know. I have like a basic idea, but I don't know. It was just a goofy movie. If you guys want to see good time travel.
A goofy movie is a good movie, though.
Wait, what?
Powerline still slaps 100%.
Yeah, like a goofy movie is.
A goofy
fantastic
movie. I got you. Great flick. Great flick.
People think when I say Coral, I mean Walking Dead. No. I mean when Goofy Senior walks into the seashell themed hotel and he says Coral, and I love every second of it.
If you guys want to see time travel that obeys its own rules, though, watch Dark. I've been saying this for months.
I've
watched that fucking
it's
TV
so many
show.
subtitles, bro. I can't. The thing is, with ADHD, I can't read the subtitles and pay attention. So I have to actively watch
dubs. Just do dubs now.
I have to watch every scene twice to get.
Do they have English dubs?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
I think
going to
that
be
you should
unbearable,
watch,
though, right? It's going to be.
I think that you
worse.
should watch the subtitle, but I mean, just watch dubs. It's a fucking great show. It's so good.
I've seen the first episode. I've seen like the first half of the first episode. The kid's missing, and the dude.
So the basic premise is this in the pilot. There's a guy who back in the 80s, his little brother goes missing, and then now in present day he's a detective, and his son goes missing, and they find a little kid's body in the woods. But it's not his son, it's his little brother from the 80s, but not decomposed or anything, like it just happened. That's the basic setup for the show.
And they say, like, I remember them saying a quote, like, history repeats itself, it's happening
History
again.
repeats itself, it's happening again. Yeah. There's
All
basically...
right, fuck you. I need a new show to watch. I'll start watching it.
Oh, it's so good.
Derek, did you also rent Primer?
Did I rent Primer?
Scott, what did
I
you
did.
do?
Yeah, I did.
I sent you the $4 that Chris sent me. Because I didn't hate it nearly as much as you did.
Fair.
All right.
And to quote Samwise, I just wanted to share the load.
So I only ever want to give you guys bangers that is only ever, and I feel like I dropped the ball because I haven't recently watched Primer.
I made us watch Willy's World, bro, or Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, but that was also, we were gonna watch it kind of anyway, so you just took the free throw.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know, but I still Shaquille O'Neal the fuck out of that free throw.
You did send me that money. There it is.
I feel like I'm 1 for 1 right now, and I think the next recommendation is Scott. But before we do that, or is it Derek? I actually don't remember.
Yeah, it's me.
Okay.
100%.
Before we do that, Scott has a mystery review for a film he saw yesterday. But wait, before you start, Derek and I think we are amateur level sleuths.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I looked up the movie theater I think you went to.
Oh, you motherfucker!
And around.
And we figured that the time that you were there, because
you texted when you said something about the theater being kind of empty. Derek and I came to the conclusion that you went to go see The Unholy.
And let me explain why. Is that it? Yeah.
All right. Here's why. Let me explain the reasoning.
Yeah.
Godzilla versus Kong.
There's only 3 movies playing there. By the way.
No, there was like 5.
Well, Godzilla versus Kong. Okay. Yeah, I figured you watched that at home. Yeah. Ryan the Last Dragon Sid didn't have any interest in. The Croods, I know you'll never watch in your lifetime. Yeah, and then nobody. I'm like, all right, he would go see the same movie twice, but the next showing wasn't until 9:15, and you were there around 7. So that only left The Unholy.
Let me start off by saying that you guys are 100% correct. I wasn't expecting that at all. Like I'm now.
Yes. Exactly what we hoped for.
All right, so it's got Henry Dean Morgan in it, right? Sorry, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean, yeah. Okay.
He's an absolute hunk of a man.
He's a honey.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to go spoiler free on this, right? Because who gives a fuck, right? Like, if you guys, if you guys have any interest in going to see The Unholy, feel free to turn the podcast off now. And then when you come back and you're filled with rage because of how terrible this movie was, I'll be here to console you. I'm your shoulder to cry on. I'll tickle your little stinker while I stroke your head. That sounds horrible. Yeah. It's a reach around.
Sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's basically a reach around.
This movie was equal parts Darkness Falls, if you remember that old stinker horror movie, where they kind of reenact the Tooth Fairy myth. This one...
I do. It also reminds me of Killswitch Engage when Darkness Falls, because I love that song.
That song rips.
That song slaps, boy.
Yeah. If this movie was half the bop that song was, I'd be singing its praises.
Oh no.
Yeah, I would join a church choir to sing the praises if it was half as good as the actual song Darkness Falls. But it starts off as Jeffrey Dean Morgan is this journalist who spends he's lost all of his pull. He faked some stories. No one respects him anymore. He's kind of like a laughing stock, and he's doing these day trips. Like driving hundreds of miles for $150 to do these tabloid stories, like possessions, cattle mutilation, all this kind of shit. He goes to this small town, realizes there's no story there because the cattle mutilation he goes there to inspect is just some fucking kid wrote Metallica M on a cow's asshole. Legitimately, like they show like the cow's butt, and it's just like a Metallica M. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Like that was spray paint or some shit. And while he's there, he tries to figure out a way to drum up a story. He finds this old doll under this old burn-up looking tree, and he smashes the doll. And from the doll, he releases the spirit of Mary, a Salem witch trial era spirit that had made a pact with the devil that she would live on forever through her, through her children, through her bloodline. As long as she had a living descendant, she would live on forever. But the townspeople, since they knew that she had made a pact with the devil, they trapped her within this Kern doll. Kern dolls were a real thing during the Salem witch trials. They used to be viewed as like good luck charms. They would make a little Kern-baby, and they would bury it in the field because they thought it would give them a bountiful harvest of their crops. But they would also
Kern-baby?
This is a real thing, though. I swear to God, you can read about
I believe you.
I just hate the word Kern-baby. It's unsettling.
I do too.
Well,
episode 25, Kern-baby.
Well, it's coming a few more times, boys. I'm sorry, but they would also trap.
So am I.
They also believed you could trap evil spirits within a Kern-baby. So they would what they would do is they would put the evil spirit in the doll, wrap it in chains, and then on the lock they would put a date that didn't exist, like April 31st, year of our Lord 1780 fuck, whatever the fuck it is.
80 fuck.
Yeah. So that obviously that date would never occur. The spirit would never have the power to break free. Whatever it's a lot of old wives' tales,
right?
But essentially, what it comes down to is this demon was able to basically perform miracles through the power that Satan had given her, and she convinced this entire church that she was the Virgin Mary, Mary, Mother of God. And had them all worshiping to her. And the more followers she had, the more people she had worshiping her, the stronger she would become, the more powerful she would become. And she would also be actively damning their souls to an eternity in hell because they were worshiping a demonic entity, thinking that it was Mary, the Mother of God. So it plays heavily into a lot of the themes of Catholicism that The Exorcist toys with, and a lot of movies in that vein. But it ultimately was just a few good jump scares. Henry Dean Morgan couldn't save this. It had the hot mom from The League in it, whose name I'm Googling right fucking now. Allie something.
McBeal.
Ew. That lady's made of paper mache. Yeah, The League. Katie Asselton. She plays Jenny in The League.
Asselton?
Yeah, Asselton.
Like Asselton?
No, Asselton.
But we can call her Katie Asselton, right?
Yeah, we can do it. We can do whatever you want. Her and Jeffrey Dean Morgan are absolute smoke shows, but they still couldn't save this movie, man. It was predictable. It was boring. It had the claw's gonna get you guy from Liar Liar in it, playing an old, weird, crooked priest. The most unbelievable thing about this entire movie is that there was 30 priests in it, and none of them had diddled any children.
Oh no!
As far as we know.
Yeah. So
to the best
they
of my
tend
knowledge.
to push that shit far down.
Demonic entity posing as a deity. Sure. Yeah. I'll what's the word? Expend my disbelief. Is that the?
Yeah.
But suspend my disbelief for that, but I won't do it for a diddle-free convent of priests. I'm not fucking doing it. I smell bullshit.
One of you is better own up.
I smell bullshit, or it's little boy butthole on priest fingers. Who knows?
Boy butthole.
Yeah. Chris is mortified right now.
So the only question that I have for you is, if you had to give it a number, how would you rate it on the Scoot scale? 1 to 10 on the Scoot scale, Scott.
I'm gonna give it a 6.66. Just to be ironic.
On the what?
On the Scoot scale.
All right.
I fucking hate you. I also watched Greenland with Gerard Butler, which is basically just 2012 without John Cusack. So check that out if you have $4 and 2 hours to waste.
It's
on Amazon Prime.
2012. 2012 is the kind of dumb action movie that I didn't hate.
2012 was good. It was good, dumb fun.
Well,
but Greenland, Greenland, starring Gerard Butler. It's just it makes you wonder how broke did Gerard Butler get divorced recently? Does he owe alimony to anybody? Because the whole time I'm watching this, I'm just like, it's just bad Armageddon.
Like someone should just reach out to Gerard Butler and be like, "Hey, you okay, bud?"
I have a soft spot for a lot of those old like disaster end of world movies from back in the day, like Deep Impact. Morgan Freeman with them freckles as the president of the United States.
True.
Armageddon, you know, Bruce Willis, like fucking Steve Buscemi losing his shit up on the asteroid. Phenomenal.
But that speech that I don't even remember it, but that Bruce Willis makes, like, we came here to drill and god damn it, we're going to drill. It's the worst fucking thing.
I don't remember that speech at all. The only speech I remember is the one that Bill Pullman gives in Independence Day.
Yeah. Well, that one right.
Yeah. That one bangs.
That one absolutely slaps. It's the bop.
It slaps and shits. It really
does. Can we make the episode title "Making Kern-babies"? I just like that.
I really don't want to do that. That sounds so
no.
Good. No.
What's wrong with Kern-babies? Come on, bro.
Because our image is gonna be Godzilla and Kong fucking with a sensor bar.
Exactly. That's why
making Kern-baby is a little too on the nose, or maybe on the tail. I don't know where he's gonna finish.
Kern is Kern because I looked it up because I was dead serious about making it for the episode title. We'll workshop it. How about that? We have the image already. We'll workshop the title.
Yeah.
But we have to wrap things up. This has been a nice, beefy boy of an episode. 2 hours and 30 minutes. I'm sure it'll be slightly shorter once I cut out one thing. Well, no, I don't have to cut anything. I don't think. Maybe a couple minutes in the beginning. Solid run of quality content.
And maybe this bit right here we're talking about what we're going to cut out. We can cut this bit out.
No, it's a lot of work. All right, boys. This has been episode 25 of the Cynical Nerd.
Wait, we need the movie recommendation from
Oh
Scoot.
shit, you are absolutely right.
Oh yeah,
it's how forgetful.
All right.
It's how forgetful.
All right, so I have. I'm gonna let you guys choose out of two movies here, right?
Okay.
They are both on Prime Video. I plan on renting both of them. You guys have my login info. We can share that experience.
I'm gonna Photoshop them into making myself more work. So what's movie A?
Okay. Movie A is going to be.
Gonna make sure it's not hitting Derek.
Where the fuck did it go?
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a Joe Magliano movie, which should get you excited.
Manganiello?
Yeah, that's the one.
I always say it. Right? I called him Joe DiMaggio the other day.
Yeah, he's Joe Marinara. He's gonna call.
Yeah. That's fine.
It's called Arch Enemy.
Arch Enemy.
It is Joe Magliano. I did it.
Nailed it.
But what gets me though is when you watch the trailer for this one, it has Dennis from It's Always Sunny as the villain. And whether you guys pick this one or not, I'm watching this one fucking tonight. I'm doing it. I have to.
You've seen it already?
No. But
okay,
I watched the trailer for it. I have a little J here sitting here, little pre-rolled fancy boy. And I'm gonna watch Arch Enemy either way tonight.
I keep my stash close by too. Look at that.
And what's the other option? Because it's killing my wrist.
Okay, yeah, you can switch it up.
No, we gotta hold both.
All right. Well, the other movie is a sci-fi thriller called Doors, starring Josh Peck.
Yeah, let's go with the other one.
Arch Enemy. Okay, I want to hear a little bit more about Doors first.
All right. Well, it's who made that noise?
My arthritic wrist is breaking.
Mysterious alien doors appear around the globe. Humanity must come together to try to understand their purpose. It's basically like.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
All right.
Arch Enemy. Who the fuck is Josh Peck?
I don't know. I know that name. I'm gonna look it up. I still pick.
We could go with Breach with Bruce Willis. That's gonna be
Breach.
Yeah.
Oh, Josh Peck from Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. I am slightly more interested to see that film now that I know that Peck is in it.
That's kind of honestly the only thing that had me going because I haven't seen him since that movie, like The Whackness that he did, which he was actually really good in.
Really good. Yeah.
He just never really popped after that. It makes no sense. Yeah. I think he didn't pop because he was still associated with Drake. And that guy's a fucking train wreck on social media.
He has spent a decade distancing himself from that guy.
Yeah. Like, didn't even invite him to his wedding.
Yeah.
Like, that's some social distancing right there. He was social distancing long before COVID.
Yeah. You know, he's on the phone, too. He's like, nah, bro, it's a pandemic. We can't be near each other.
Yeah.
I don't think you should come. But you're inviting 150 people. Yeah, but I mean, like, I've been in close contact with all them. Yeah. I gotta say, I feel like we have to make a decision. I'm kind of leaning Doors a little bit.
All right, let's do Doors.
You guys really want to do Doors?
Let's do Doors. Let's do it.
I'm a sucker for sci-fi, so of course I want to watch Doors.
Well, I mean, do you want to hear the synopsis of Arch Enemy? Because that's also sci-fi.
Yeah, we should get the full facts here.
Max Fist claims to be a hero from another dimension.
All right, I'm back on Arch Enemy.
Who fell through time and space to Earth, where he has no powers. He lost his powers when he came to Earth, but he still fights crime as a dirty hobo, disguised.
Oh, I saw a trailer for that. That's what I want to watch. I know what you're talking about now. Yep. Yeah.
Arch Enemy it is, boys. Arch Enemy.
That's my vote.
Yep.
Yeah, that looks like a terrible. Yeah, no, I saw.
Honestly, like the Josh Peck one, I didn't think anyone was gonna vote for that, and I had a panic attack when you guys like do that one. I'm like, no, I don't want to spend $10 tonight. I only want to spend $5 tonight.
Fair.
I only want to watch one of these.
Let's wrap this shindig up. Derek, where can everybody find you on the internet?
You can find me on the internet on Twitch and Twitter at Dr. Gloom MD. That's DRGLOOMMD.
Scott, how about you?
I no longer exist on the physical plane. I'm more of a figment of your imagination. I exist in the podcast, yeah,
we deepfaked Scott. He died 3 months ago.
It's been the best thing of my life. It's so good. Being dead is fucking dope, boys.
Whose mouth did we scatter your ashes in?
Mila Kunis.
Cardi B.
Mila Kunis.
Oh, Mila.
Right.
Okay, that's a good choice.
Yeah, you gotta find her out like at brunch with her agent, like on the Sunset Strip. Just throw my ashes in her face and run.
Yeah, and then just get the fuck out of there before a security guard beats the shit out of you.
Boys,
hey, Mila Kunis, it's Ash Sunday.
boys.
I don't know why.
I gotta think of a celebrity that I hate, and when I die, my dying wish is that somebody throws my ashes in their face. like for now, Chris Brown will be the placeholder because he's
terrible.
It's undebatable he's just a bad person, but I gotta find somebody that I hate with more of a motive other than just general douchebaggery.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, what about Andy? Well, like Andy Milonakis.
He's had it rough.
Leave him alone, Chris. God damn it. Give it a rest.
I'm so sorry. All right, Scott, I'm sorry. Where can everybody find you, or did you not want to shill?
Oh, I don't care. I don't give it. I mean, if you know where I am, you'll be there. If you don't, sucks to suck, boys. I don't have to tell you. I'll be playing the Resident Evil games this month. Probably, maybe. I don't know. If I fucking feel like it. You're lucky.
I'm gonna see if I can do it without messing up. I've had to hear it for 25 episodes. You can find Scott on Twitch. I'm trying it. I'm just trying to see if I can. You can find Scott on Twitch, Facebook Gaming, and Glimish, and maybe YouTube. I forget. At
I'm in a Kern-baby, baby.
Can we please make a Kern-baby? At that's SWEARWOLFE.
Yo, Kern-baby Spice.
Yes, Kern-baby Spice. You can, lastly, my name is Chris. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at TCN Plays. This has been episode 25 of The Cynical Nerd. We'll see you guys next week for more things that we probably don't like. Have a good night.
We do hate everything.
Bye.
True. Yeah. I think I honestly like this picture of Kong just piping down Godzilla more than I liked anything we reviewed this week.
How could you not?
It's hot.
It's very pristine.
Yeah. Well, like they're making like like Godzilla's trying to make eye contact with Kong. He's like trying to have a moment of itsy, but Kong's just staring down at that throbbing.
Yeah,
Kong's
about to come 100%.
Yeah. He's just like marveling at how big his dick looks going in and out of that scaly butthole.
No, stop talking.
See you next week, guys.
If we don't fade out of Scott saying scaly butthole to music, then I quit the podcast.